My name is David Merrill. I'm the head chef over here at the Cedar Room. What I hope to bring to the community is an opportunity to explore new horizons that people maybe haven't before because it was too expensive, too intimidating, too broad. And I just kind of want to bring an opportunity for people to try new things in, exciting ways that, are still small town affordable. Stop on by at the Cedar Room located here in the historic Canteen District.
Test, 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 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, test, test, test. All right. All right, Speltzer, give me 1, 2, 3. How you sounding?
1, 2, 3. Test, test, test. 1, 2, 3.
You need me to turn your,
yeah,
can you hear me? Can we turn you up or?
Turn me up.
Check, how you
Test, test, test. 1, 2,
sound
3.
Better now?
Yep, you sound great.
Okay. Let's turn your mic up. Give me another 1, 2, 3 real quick for me.
1, 2, 3. Test, test, test.
Okay.
1, 2, 3.
Yeah, I've just turned you up a little more.
trick, and then we'll take it higher.
The best of the 70s, 80s, and 90s. KOOQ North Platte. K251CP North Platte. 98.1 and 1410. We're online too at northplattepost.com. The following is an Eagle Media Sports presentation. North Platte High Sports on northplattepost.com. FM 98.1 and AM 1410 are brought to you by
the Justin Thompson Agency, American Family Insurance, Haynes of Heartland, La Casa del Rios, Dave's Place, Cole Jonison with High Street Insurance, Hal's Lock and Safe, State Farm Agent Bobby Holst.
In motion, Hannibal. He'll step back, rolling to his right. Caden Johnson looking, throwing to the end zone. Max Negley is wide open. A touchdown, North Platte. Max Negley wide open.
Also brought to you in part by Bill Summers, Ford, Honda, Nissan, Great Plains Foot and Ankle, The Fortify Group, Larry's Glass, Shelter Insurance Agents Pete Bowles and Brent Rogo, Puro Clean.
As Savannah Cove now makes her way all the way to third base with 2 down. And now a 5-1 lead. That's going out to center field. It is out of here. A home run for Adi Reyna.
Sports Zone coverage also brought to you in part by Great Plains Health, Great Plains Health Sports and Therapy, Jay Engel with Farm Bureau Financial Services, Runza, Double Dips, Merrick's Ranch House, Mid-Plains Community College, and Szechuan Famous Food Sushi Bar.
Here's the voice of the Dogs, Paxton Gordon.
Welcome back here to Bauer Field, FM 98.1, AM 1410, and yes, video live streaming on our Cedar Room live stream at northplattepost.com. I'm Paxton Gordon. Jeff Smeltzer is back, everybody. It's first off, good to see you, Mr. Smeltzer. How you feeling after that 1 week hiatus that you got to sit back and watch the game from afar?
Great to be here. I got to watch it on the stream, and again, I'm a diva. I only do the home games. Yeah, beautiful night out here at Bauer Field. If you don't have plans, come on out.
Yeah, I don't know what you're doing tonight specifically if you don't have fans. It's free to get in. Paid by the North Platte Public Schools Foundation
I did not know that.
for Change Wars.
Okay.
And then, of course, the weather is absolutely fantastic. It's so funny. A year ago, me and you felt like we were melting in this press box to start the year, and I don't think we've had actually more cold than actual heat.
Yeah, we experienced thunder and lightning the first week, and now tonight, perfect night for football. I can't forget is it the backyard barbecue?
Backyard barbecue and then Change Wars. Yep, $5 leading up till kickoff at 7 o'clock. Change Wars March, of course, is going on right now. That's the event that is happening right now, of course, put on by the North Platte Public Schools Foundation as well as Nebraska Land Bank. But we're here to talk about North Platte High football. 0-4 on the season, fell to Lincoln Northeast last week as we go and we'll pull up I know you can't see it because I have the I have the thing turned a different way, Mr. Smeltzer, but 0-4 to start this season. Fell last week 2-1 Lincoln Northeast, 35-27. The first win for the Rockets in 16 years over North Platte High School. Good news is for North Platte High, the offense finally came alive. We finally can sit here and say the offense does exist and it is alive and well. Just the other facets of the team really did not fire on all cylinders against that Lincoln Northeast squad, which, again, a pretty tough offense to manage because it's RPO, pistol, but a lot of spreading out the defense.
QB run game really hurt us at, I can't remember his name, but
Mattson.
Yes,
Mr. Mattson.
Mattson, yes. I remember him from last year too, but he had a big night running the ball. I think we kind of kept him in check in the passing game.
Yeah, it was. He didn't really beat us deep down the field like every Bulldog kryptonite has been throwing balls deep down the field. He didn't beat us on that end of the margin, but he did beat us on a couple of intermediate throws that really should not have been called the completion.
Oh boy,
and
that was a tough one.
And B should not have been shouldn't even be allowed to have been open. So
yeah. So, great to see the good things on the offensive side of the football, and hopefully that continues tonight. I think it should. They got things moving. I like that they spread the ball around. They had 3 different power backs that carried the ball, and speed backs. Boy, 3 or 4 of those. Was it Stifler, Corco, Nyhart.
Yeah,
maybe?
and then of course Ty Hanneborg had a really big last drive that was at least put the Dogs back into contention with that big catch, and then also the big run to set up a first and goal at around the 1-yard line. So offensively, I think they are starting to really get set properly with the people that Coach Altig wants to run on this unit. It's now just can the rest of the team, which is, again, funny to say because the first couple of weeks had actually been their strongest part. Defense has always been their strongest part. Special teams wasn't, horrible, but that in previous years has been its best metric, but last week not its best metric. Again, giving up another kick return touchdown and really giving Lincoln Northeast excellent field position with some very short kicks that the Dogs just didn't seem really ready for.
Oh boy, yeah, that was a killer.
Those like almost 3 in a row short kicks. Yeah. So looking to, again, put it all together here today, but again, it's against a tough team in Columbus, 3-1 on the season. They took down Norfolk last week, 28-13, and I'm telling you, they took down Fremont last week, dominated that Fremont squad. On the ground, Fremont only had 17 total rushing yards compared to the 237 from Columbus, and that's where I want to really start. This Columbus offense is just a three-headed monster of just man and machine type of running backs. You got Eisenman, you have Wojcicki, and then, of course, you have the very, very young, who is not the fastest man in the state, according to certain statistics. But some people say he is.
I think you had to separate it by a photo because I think
it was pretty close.
10.51 versus 10.59. So
yeah. Well, where's the difference in that one? But it is Evan Daniels. I mean, this team is just loaded from top to bottom of just guys, and it's kind of scary. It is just really scary what this team can do.
Yeah, and they got the big boys up front to create holes for those running backs. I was writing down the weights across the front line on the offense: 270, 230, 260, 250, and 215.
Yeah, that's always been Columbus, one of their big strengths. Their line has always been impressive. Now North Platte has been able to play up to that line for a couple of seasons. Last year weren't able to. 4 turnovers in that loss to Columbus last season on the road. Different year, of course, so maybe some better luck, but it all really starts on can you stop the three-headed dragon that is Eisman, Wojcicki, and Daniels.
Yeah, and they're big backs, too. Wojcicki is 210 pounds.
Yeah, he's not. Yeah, he's built.
180 or 190. So not only are they quick, they'll deliver a little pop when you try and tackle them.
Yeah, so it's going to be up to the Bulldog defense, and as Coach always says, the best defense for them is also keeping them off the field with the offense. So again, it just boils down to can they keep things going offensively to help keep this offense of Columbus off the field. Currently, the standings look like this. Millard South 4-1, 1-0 in the district. They took down Lincoln Southeast, the first district game of the season for Millard South. They're 4-1, lead the way. Lincoln High 3-1. They're number 2 in the district. Lincoln Southeast 2-3, Benson 2-2, and then of course North Platte 0-4. We'll get to, of course, district play next week when North Platte plays Benson for the first time. So we're getting into the meat and potatoes of the football schedule. Of course, we'll step aside right here, take a break. When we come back in our quick stop pregame show, it's our La Casa del Rios coach's interview with head coach Kurt Altig ahead of today's football game versus Columbus and the Discoverers on our Cedar Room live stream.
Save money at the pump at Quick Stop with the DinoPay app. DinoPay offers contactless payment using your preferred debit or credit card. The savings add up with 12 cents per gallon and even more on Tuesdays and Thursdays with rollbacks for savings of 15 cents per gallon. Huge savings to Sinclair DinoPay, saving you at the pump. Don't forget Frazzle Gourmet Slushes and for real shakes and smoothies. Gourmet coffee at everyday low prices on your favorite beers.
So what do you see in your future? Buying the perfect home with a big oak tree? Watching your child graduate from college? Or finding more time for hobbies during your retirement? Whatever your future holds, make sure you talk with the Farm Bureau Financial Services agent. Together, we'll create a plan that's right for you.
In North Platte, visit Jay Engel at fbfs.com/find-and-agent.
It's your future. Let's protect it.
This is the Bulldog Pregame Show from FM 98.1 and 1410 AM. Presented by Quick Stop. Always open right around the corner. Quick Stop.
Hey everybody, Paxton Gordon here. It is our Quick Stop Pregame Show, and it's time to do my favorite thing of the week. Well, second favorite thing of the week. Of course, calling games is my favorite thing of the week, but it's time to jump into our La Casa del Rio's coaches interviews. I'm joined by head coach Kurt Altig. Coach, it's good to see you finally back at home, even though it's a 1 week hiatus away from, of course, Bauer Field. How you feeling after a pretty, I would assume, intensive week of practice getting prepped for Columbus?
You know, anytime you lose a game, you know, it's pretty disheartening that on Friday nights, but you know, when you get into it and break down the film, from last week, we thought we really did do enough to win the game. But we made, too many mistakes on special teams and turned the ball over, and so we, came up on the losing side. So, this week we've really focused on, let's execute all three facets of the game and play our brand of football.
It felt like last week was a big breakthrough, at least for the offensive side of things. Getting to this point in the season where you're trying to get all the gears tightened up, but it felt like last week against Lincoln Northeast, the offense really finally was able to hit its mojo, putting up over 300 yards on the ground. Really take me through, as you said, once you were able to really sit down and watch the tape, maybe how pleased the team was to at least know, even though it was a loss, they definitely finally were able to crack the code offensively.
Yeah, we ran the most plays we've run all year. We ran about 20 more plays in Lincoln Northeast and outgained them by 100 yards. And anytime you do that, you feel pretty good, pretty confident, as far as where you're going to be at in the game. It's taken us some time, with the young team that we have, just have those guys kind of get varsity football figured out. And, we've moved some guys around, and we feel real confident now, on the offensive side that we've done a pretty good job getting guys in positions to be successful. Now we just got to go out and execute. And last week, we did a really good job executing. I think we had, maybe three drives that we left out on the field, a couple right before half, and then, one in the third quarter, which was kind of rough for us. But we execute on those three, and we ended up winning that game by 14 points instead of being on losing end.
Yeah, as you said, just the way that you were just manhandling that Lincoln Northeast, not only defensive line, but just their defense in general. They really didn't have any answers until they started to open up the lead past 7 points, which kind of feels like sometimes that's how things kind of go about. When you lose that lead, things then start to tumble just a little bit. You talk about the offense and really finally breaking through. The guys kind of starting to feel a little more integrated, as you said, now that we're definitely 5 games in now. Do you feel it's going to take this long for the offense to get clicking, or maybe felt just was a little longer than you were hopefully anticipating?
I think it was more just the guys getting used to Friday night football, and then, and we switched some things up from the beginning of the year, guys that we thought, that were maybe in better positions. We've shuffled some guys around, and, we're pretty confident now with the group that we have, that we put out there, that they can, run our offense, and, it's a unique offense. That it's hard for teams to game plan when you only see it, and you only prepare for 1 week, and and as we continue to go through the season, we get stronger and stronger. Now we just got to do our job as coaches to clean some stuff up and get ourselves on the winning end of one of these games.
And you talked about just winning all 3 facets, and it feels like things have kind of turned in the opposite direction, especially last week in terms of what was successful. The defense had been very, very strong the first couple of weeks, even if the scores might not have looked like the defense was really performing well. The defense was really knocking some teeth out in some strong ways, and the special teams had a couple of hiccups, of course, last week and the week prior, giving up 2 touchdown returns. But holistically, it seemed like last week it all just turned on its head in the worst direction for those 2 sides of the ball. What really do you think went into maybe more of the struggle for the defense and the special teams last week?
I think more, it's more our special teams have kind of been putting our defense in bad spots. 28 of Norfolk's points, basically came off of bad special teams. Last week we had, we gave up a kickoff return and we missed an extra point, and we lost by 8 points. So, you take those 2 things away and the game's tied. And like I told the guys, this week we got to clear this stuff up. But I feel pretty confident about our team if we're going into overtime. I feel pretty confident about us coming on the winning edge, but we got to put ourselves in positions to do that. And so we got to come out and execute all three facets.
You talk about those all three facets. What would you normally do in a week's worth of practice to make sure all of those hinges get, screwed back into place?
It's nothing that we've changed, wholeheartedly. It's just more, again, maybe some personnel, putting some guys here in positions. And then again, we got a lot of young guys on those special teams, and that gives us an opportunity to get some rest for our older guys. But like I said, this week, if we got younger guys that aren't doing the job, we'll put the old guys in there. But just a few tweaking things, facets of the game that they weren't necessarily 100%, on. And, a little pooch kiss from last week, even though we'd worked on it all prior week, during game time, people get a little bit tight. And so our job's just to, explain it a little better and work through all the different scenarios. And, we just did a few extra reps this week, not anything crazy, but just trying to get our guys ready. And at least we get a stalemate on special teams instead of giving up points.
And you talk about the wins and losses in the field of battle, whether it be on the stat sheet or in the visual eye. But to somebody who isn't a well-trained football eye like you are, what was something you could also just take away from that game as a positive?
Each week since basically the first week, we've gotten a little better at something, especially offensively. Putting up 380 yards, outgaining your opponent by 100 yards, you feel pretty good about that. Defensively, we had they had some real dynamic playmakers, that they just had guys that were a little bit faster than we were. So our defensive game plan going in, we thought was pretty solid. But, they just happened to make some plays and then we turned the ball over, and they didn't turn the ball over, which is unlike, Lincoln Northeast in the past. But, again, like I said last week, hats off to their coaching staff. They did a great job. Their guys took care of the football, and they took advantage of our mistakes, and they didn't make any for us to take advantage of.
And you want to highlight back to that because I've talked to a couple people outside about the overall evolution of a team like Lincoln Northeast. They haven't won against you guys in 16 years. 2009 was the last time they posted a victory. What do you think, it's been like as a coach for the other side, watching them struggle to finally be able to break that, not only that mold, but actually finally break through into a win column against a team that is at the moment on a higher pedestal than what they normally are accustomed to in the victories?
They celebrated pretty big, so I know it was big for them. And looking at their schedule, if they play like they did against us, they're gonna win 2 or 3 more games and probably be a playoff team, which would be huge for them. So again, hats off to their coaching staff. They're a good group of guys. They got their kids in position to be successful. And I know it's hard now with Lincoln with so many schools. When I was in high school, Lincoln Northeast, they were a force to be reckoned with. That was we lost one regular season game when I was a senior, and that was the Lincoln Northeast, and they had some dudes. So, good for them. Again, wish them all the luck. They really have changed. The team that we saw come to North Platte the last few years that turned the ball over, couldn't get a snap on punt. They've really, coached them up and got their guys ready to go. And it was just a shame that, we turned the ball over. And, they were able to take advantage of it. But, again, good for them. Wish them all the luck in the world. And we don't know if we'll see them next year or not. But, if we do, we know we need to, make sure we're strapped up and ready to go.
And thank you. I was going to go right into that. I know we don't like to really talk too far into the future, but if you haven't been paying really attention to the NSAA, they've been making a couple of rule changes for Class A and B. Of course, the outcome of what that will look like is still yet to be determined, though we do have a couple of schools coming up next year. Standing Bear, Elkhorn North, and then Lincoln Northwest are all confirmed to go up. Have you looked at, lightly the what the changes potentially for next year's schedule could look like?
Yeah, they've gone from 32 teams now to 36.
You know that last team? Because I have 35 counted right now.
The 36 team will be Bennington.
Oh, okay. There you go.
I believe we'll still be the smallest of all those Class A schools at the time.
Because they're well below, because the enrollment's 425 for boys, and if I remember, there's not even crested over 400.
They've moved that number down to get 36 teams into Class A. Oh. So those will be the teams. Scheduling will be up like normal, but just like anything, we'll go play whoever, whenever, wherever. Being this far out west compared to any other Class A team, we're going to have to travel just like always. So, you know what? Whatever they send us, we'll prepare and we'll travel and get ready to play those games whenever we get to hear about that, and that'll be the first part of February.
That's what you love to hear. We'll talk about, though, Columbus, the team that's traveling out here to North Platte when we come back here on our Quick Stop pregame show, talking with head coach Kurt Altig on La Casa Del Rio's kickoff and coach's interview.
Craving bold flavors and authentic Chinese cuisine? Look no further than Szechuan Famous Foods. From spicy Szechuan classics to mouth-watering dumplings, fresh sushi, their dishes are crafted with the freshest ingredients and traditional recipes. Whether you're dining in or taking out, every bite is a taste of China. Visit Szechuan Famous Foods today, where flavor is always first. Located at 320 Rodeo Road, or order online at SzechuanFamous.com for carryout or delivery. Your taste buds will thank you.
As the crisp fall air rolls in, it's the perfect time to secure the insurance protection you need. Fortify Group has over 50 years of trusted experience serving customers in North Platte and beyond. We're here to cover all your needs: farm, crop, auto, home, and commercial insurance. Whether it's harvest season or time to winterize your home, we work with multiple carriers to find the best coverage for you. Visit fortifygroup.net to learn more, or stop by our office at 621 South Dewey and chat with me, Kevin McGann. No matter the season, you can rely on Fortify.
This is the Bulldog Pregame Show from FM 98.1 and 1410 AM. Presented by Quick Stop. Always open right around the corner. Stop.
Welcome back. Talking with head coach Kurt Altig on our La Casa Del Rio's coach's interview, all part of our Quick Stop pregame show. Columbus makes the travel into town, and a team that, as always, you've faced many of times, but really in the last couple of years gone back and forth in terms of which team picks up the victory. Last year was a pretty cold but also tough day in Columbus on your road trip. Really struggled to get things going offensively and defensively. Really take me through a team that you actually have already seen from your off-season camps that you guys both attended to. What you think this Columbus team compared to last year does so well this year?
They have a tremendous amount of speed. They have three skilled position guys that are up there within the state for 100-meter dash, so they're going to have some speed, but they're going to come out, they're going to do the same things that they've done. They run kind of a unique offense. They're big up front. Our job is to come out and match them. Last year we didn't necessarily do a very good job of matching their intensity to start the game, and then kind of like the old chapter in our story from last year is we turned the ball over 4 times. They didn't turn the ball over, so. We come out, we got to just match their physicality from the get-go. We got to make sure we rally to the football because, we talked all week, guys, that everybody's the same speed when you're laying on the ground. So we can get guys to the football, rally to their fast guys, just match their physicality to start up front and not turn the ball over, and we like our chances.
And you always talk about the last couple of weeks of physicality, but I feel like that has kind of gone out the window in terms of something you have to worry about after that first week. Do you feel that there's been a very big marketable step in the right direction, not just ever since that Kearney game, but even in the last few games, that the physicality of this team has taken nice leaps and bounds?
It's a double-edged sword for you for your physicality, especially during practice, because, you want to come out, you want to be ready. Mm-hmm. You want to be physical, but at the same time, you don't want to beat yourself up so bad that, you got guys standing on the sidelines, without pads on because of the physical play we've had. So we've done a good job of mixing it up. Our tough physical play is just, again, maybe tweaking some guys here or there. Maybe guys that weren't quite ready for the physicality on a Friday night because they were young, and we've shifted some guys around, and for the most part, we've done a pretty good job of matching intensity and trying to be able to, control the line of scrimmage as much as we can.
And that moving around has actually also had a little bit of a dividend in terms of the health of this team. I feel at this point last year and maybe even after that, there was starting to be some mounting injuries, especially along the offensive line. This year has felt like a pretty healthy year outside of the guys that got injured early on in the season. Can you give us an update on if any new injuries have cropped up, or have you been super healthy, knock on wood up to this part?
Well, there's 2 football seasons. There's the healthy season, and then there's when you start playing or practicing during the season. So, we have guys that have bumps and bruises here or there, but for the most part, we with our varsity starties, we've done a decent job of guys being healthy, but, you're just one play away. So, we're always that next man up mentality. So we run as many guys through scenarios as we can each week, and just hope our older guys and our not. I guess I say older guys. We don't have guys that have been playing the majority of the snaps can stay healthy, and we can lean on them for some physicality and leadership.
All right, it's time to jump into our Owls Lock and Save keys to the game. We'll start with the defensive side of things to see what you have all propped up to, again, as you said, really contain this fast, dynamic Columbus offense.
It's just more about being able to put ourselves in positions to be successful. The offense they run is not so different from what we run. It's about making sure we do our job and not try to play hero ball and control our gaps. And then, if they get the ball to some of their dynamic guys, we need to make sure we rally to the football and have all 11 hats there. We know they're going to come out and make some plays. Anytime you have, an offense that's dynamic and you have some playmakers, they're going to make some plays. We just got to play the next play. And again, make sure we're not trying to do too much, control what we can control, which is, our position on the field. And put ourselves in positions to make tackles.
And then offensively, which, again, last week had its best performance of the year, what you have written down to make that now 2 in a row to start a streak of good offensive play.
It's just Bulldog football. We talked about blunt force trauma, come out, control the ball, not worry about necessarily what they're going to do on their side, but execute like we can. Keep flags off the ground, and again, our best defense is having their offense watch us march the ball down the field and use the clock, and just play our brand of football.
Coach, as always, thank you so much for taking some time out to talk to me. I can't wait to see you up in the press box, again, holding that W in your hand.
Thank you very much.
We'll, of course, have more when we come back to our Quick Stop pregame show.
Hands of Heartland has offered support and services for those with developmental disabilities in Nebraska since 1998 and is now bringing those services to the North Platte area. Residential services, respite services, community services, and even day services. Hands of Heartland offers a full array of services from 24-hour supports to just a few hours per week. Learn more today online at handsofheartland.com. That's handsofheartland.com. Hands of Heartland, providing creative opportunities to live and grow.
You're listening to the Quick Stop pregame show. Derek Beck, time for Friday Night Lights. A look around the area with Friday night football games for tonight. We're going to take you through the area. There were a few games last night from our listening area. In 6-man Arthur County, big over Minutair, 64-6. Also Garden County by almost 50 over South Platte last night, 70-22 was the final there. Sandhills Thedford winner over Maxwell, 52-28, and Sumner Eddyville Miller upended Medicine Valley, 61-28. All right, you ready to go around the area tonight? Let's do it. Class A, North Platte High looking for their first win of the year. It'll be a tough one tonight, but it is at home at Bauer Field as the Bulldogs take on 3-1 Columbus tonight. Class B, number 9, McCook. This should be a good one. Gearing has not been a real perennial football power in Class B for many, many years. They had that long streak that they didn't win a game for, 3 years or something like that? Well, they're 4-0 this year. Looks pretty good against Ogallala a week ago. And they traveled to Weiland Field in McCook to take on the Bison, who are 3-1 tonight. Class C1, this game is already done. Chase County made a long road trip to Alliance, and it was not much fun. I believe the final score was 46-13 Alliance over Chase County, an afternoon game this afternoon. Coming up top of the hour on Flat Rock 100.7, Ogallala is at Shadron. The Indians are 1-3. Shadron is 3-1. Also in C1, Broken Bow 1-3. They are at a re-injuviated Cozad. Cozad is now 2-2 and winners of 2 straight. Therefore, the Haymakers. Also in C1, this is probably going to be one of the better games in C1 tonight around the state. Gothenburg 4-0 at number 5 Sydney, also 4-0. to be a big win for the Swedes if they could find a way to up in Sydney tonight on the road. Class C2, Hershey is 2-2. They are at 1-3 Valentine tonight. A lot of games being played from the area in Class D1. Number 1, Dundee County Stratton hosting Arapahoe in Binkelman tonight. North Platte St. Pat's on the road. Irish are 3-1 at Highline, 1-3 on the year. This is always a competitive district matchup between Sutherland and Perkins County. The game on in Grant tonight. Sutherland 1-3, Perkins County 2-2 on the year. Also in D1 from the area, Sandhills Valley still looking for their first win of the year. They are at 4-0 Ravenna tonight. In South Loop hosting West Holt in Class D1 tonight as well. Let's go to Class D2. More 8-man ball for you. Brady is hosting Bayard. Both teams are 1-1 on the year. Short road trip for Hyannis and Mullen tonight. Mullen hosts the Longhorns. Hyannis is 1-3. Mullen undefeated so far on the year. Down here, just to the south of North Platte, Maywood Hayes Center 0-4 on the year. They are at Overton 2-2 on the year. 6-man football from the area has been really, really good last couple of years. Wallace is number 7 in the state. They're 3-0, coming off a bye week. They are at Bartley to play number 5 Southwest today. Good luck to the Wildcats. And Paxton 1-2 on the year. They are at number 9 Juanita Palisade, who's also 3-0 on the year. There was supposed to be one other game from the area tonight. It's forfeit. Creek Valley will defeat Banner County 1-0. Banner County forfeits that game. Well, there you go. Our little trip around the area. Friday Night Lights. This is the Quick Stop pregame show. Your game coming your way here at the top of the hour.
Thanks for listening to the Quick Stop pregame show. They have 27 locations open 24 hours a day. Quick Stop. Game time is just moments away on FM 98.1.
Every step should feel great, but if foot pain, bunions, heel spurs, or injuries are slowing you down, Great Plains Foot and Ankle Specialist is here to help. Their expert team of doctors provide top-notch care, from routine foot health to advanced treatments and surgery. Whether you're an athlete, always on the go, or just tired of aching feet, they'll get you back on your feet pain-free. Step into comfort. Call Great Plains Foot and Ankle Specialist today, or see them online at gpfootandankle.com.
The Bulldogs play here on FM 98.1 and 1410 AM KOOQ. Merrick's Ranch House. Lunch specials Tuesday through Saturday with 2 sides, just $10. See them on Facebook. Dine in, order online, use DoorDash, or just call for carryout. Merrick's.
North Platte Post Sports.
Welcome back here to Bauer Field, FM 98.1, AM 1410. I'm Paxton Gordon. Jeff Smeltzer, as always, joins me here. Our Quick Stop pregame show, 27 locations, open 24 hours a day. Quick Stop always open right around the quarter. Well, Mr. Smeltzer, are you ready to rock and roll for today? I want to see if you can knock me up with some amazing starting lineups for this. Trying to remember who I want to start with here for you.
Well, we've got to go Columbus offense because we don't have a starting defense.
Oh, yes, that's right. So start us off with the Columbus offense, Mr.
All right.
Smeltzer.
We'll go the big boys across the front line. At left tackle, number 55, Eli Larson. Left guard, 67, Peyton Andreessen. Center is Memphis Cazares. Grant Lawrence will be the right guard, and the right tackle is Jace Nelson. Your wideouts, we have Conrad Renteria, but looks like he's in street clothes, so it'll be Colton Jurecki at one receiver, Omar Razakov at the other, and at tight end will be Keegan Wimhoff. Behind center will be Connor Williams, and the backfield, we touched on them earlier, Michael Wojcicki and Carter Eisenman.
Yes, that is the offense for Columbus. For North Platte High School, it's a little different than what coach has given me on the offensive line in particular. Connor Stifler, Brecken Corco, of course, get the start alongside Carter Still, Owen Shea. Sam Ewing, Colton Altig at wide receiver now for the offensive side. It's a little, as I said, a little different than before. Jake Kincaid, Blake Tonkinson from right tackle, right guard. Center is Caden Brex. Jacob Martinez at left guard. And the new left tackle for today's game, Alex Jackson, getting the start today for North Platte High School. So going just a little bit different than what Coach had said to me. And that's what those coaches they do.
If
all
they
the
hold
time.
true to the way they were warming up, that's the way they were warming up. So, yeah. And then you got the whiteouts already, and you got.
Of course, Connor Stifler, Brecken Korko get the start. So I'm expecting at least today, just like we saw the last couple of weeks, we're going to see a lot of rotations when it comes to the offensive side of things. Specifically the running back room, they've been doing a lot of rotating when it comes to running backs. Again, Keegan Klaus got the majority of the carries last week for North Platte High.
Yeah, started out and had a really good first drive with Owen Shea, and then they went Will Rathjen.
And then same thing, he looked really good too, and then they went to Keegan Klaus the rest of the way. Now, I wonder if that was primarily just because they needed that defensive help.
Yeah, get those guys a break on defense.
Yeah, and Klaus, of course, is a reserve linebacker for the defense. So I wouldn't be shocked if they did it particularly just to give Shea and Rathjen, who are starting defensive members, some extra rest. But give it up to Keegan Klaus. I mean, he looked really good. Yes, he again had another fumble, which is something that does need to be worked on. But, I mean, I feel bad for him because that was a really bad handoff by, unfortunately, Carter Still. Yeah. It was not the cleanest of handoffs.
Well, boy, when he does get a clean half, he just squirts through the line.
He's very physical, but it's also
Yeah.
crazy how he can just maneuver his. He reminds me of Bronk Robley, a lot of Bronk Robley, which is perfect because that's when North Platte was doing really good. Who was really standing out offensively? Brock Robley, Colton Tilford. So now it's just, can they find that extra dimensional speed back, which they've been giving it to a lot of different guys, and to be, again, quite fair, they've been doing in that rotation, a lot of those guys have been actually doing really, really good when it comes to speed back. I think everybody's really starting to get comfortable now. I think it's just all upon the offensive line if they can get that kind of figured out a smidge more, because passing attack has still been a little lackluster, even though Carter still went 2 for 2 yesterday or last week. Shane Patterson did go 0 for 2 with an interception as well.
The Dogs are going to receive the opening kickoff. Let's see if we see another pooch kick, if they're going to copy the strategy of Lincoln Northeast.
Yeah, and Lincoln Northeast really did take advantage of North Platte on that end of the margin. As we get ready to rock and roll, deep kicking for the side of Columbus as I skirt all the way down here. Of course, I don't
see a 93.
There's a 93 on there. It's on a different sheet of paper, if I remember correctly. As big high kick, I'll get it to after the end of this. As receiving it, as always, Ty Hanneborg at the 5-yard line. Hanneborg now going to stumble his way and fall forward just past the 20. So Hanneborg, the very dangerous return man for North Platte, getting the Dogs set up at their 21-yard line. Of course, the conversation always becomes, do you prefer getting the first half receive, or kicking it out at halftime? So far this season, with the way the Dogs have struggled offensively, I would have preferred them to have received if they had a chance, or defer if they had a chance.
I think Columbus wanted deferred, and I can see the advantages to that strategy.
As still, now going to hand it off to Owen Shea off the right side, and he plows his way forward to around the 29-yard line. Owen Shea, in his limited production last week, 8 carries, 41 yards. Looks really, really good as Renteria there to stop Owen Shea off the bat. It's 2nd down and 3 now following the big pickup for Owen Shea. 2nd and 3.
That was a good hard run by Owen Shea.
He's been really looking. Really, the power backs are something I can't complain too much about. Anybody they've thrown out there at power back has been super phenomenal this season for North Platte. As in motion comes Connor Stifler. As Still's going to keep it himself. Looked a little interesting on if he was going to hand it off or not. Kept it himself. Falls forward maybe about a half-yard short to make it 3rd down and 1. A little scary there. It went one way, running back went another way, but he still recovered well, did Carter Still, and he picks it up for a 3rd and manageable 1 yard as Reese Perry checks in now as a lead blocker.
Yeah, you got 2 tight ends on one side.
1 deep safety for Columbus, as always, really pressuring the box against North Platte as Owen Shea breaks through 1 tackle into the open field. He plows his way forward to about the 39-yard line. Shea broke through 1 tackle, kept the legs turning, and a big first down for North Platte's offense.
And he followed those 2 tight ends. They had an overload on the right side, and he followed them for a nice hole.
And that's really what's been so good the last 2 weeks. This offense is really opening up some great holes between the guards and the tackles to allow the big backs to find daylight. And Dogs are driving now at their own 39-yard line after starting at their 20. In motion, Ty Hanneborg. Still up the middle. Owen Shea goes. He is wrapped up and spun down. He might have gotten 2 yards. They'll say he actually got 3. As first on the stop there, Bryce Brown, I think, number 22, first on the scene for Columbus. 2nd down and 7 for the Bulldogs. Here with 10:04 left to go in the opening quarter on our State Farm agent Bobby Hull scoreboard.
Yeah, the defensive line isn't nearly as big as the Columbus offensive line.
No, going for more of a speed approach.
Yep.
As now, still going to keep it himself, following his blocker, still falls forward after being wrapped up initially off the jump by Aiden Morgan, the 5'9", 250-pound junior. Wraps Carter still up, but yet again still kept the legs turning. 3rd and a manageable 2 yards for the Bulldogs offense. Getting some good run up front with this line. And again, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Well, Caden Breck's doing a great job at center tonight.
Taking over for Blake Tonkinson is now off the right side. Shea again with plenty of daylight. He is falling forward into Discoverer's territory at around the 47-yard line. First on the stop there, Xavier Lopez Long. Oh, correction, that's Keegan Wemhoff, who wraps up Owen Shea, but that's another first down for this North Platte offense.
Yeah, good hard running by Shea again that time. 2 hands on the ball.
And that was just a gaping hole off that right side.
And just no wasted motion following Tonk and Jake over on that right side.
8:51, clock is ticking away so far. 4 minutes have almost gone off as in motion Stifler off the left side now. Owen Shea still going, and he once again is wrapped up by Bryce Brown and brought down. The Dogs have still yet to throw a pitch play, but haven't really needed to do so with some good penetration from Owen Shea as it's 2nd and 8. Once again, Brown, first man there for the Discoverers defense. And this big Dogs offensive line really manhandling Columbus as Stifler in motion. Oh, and they might get somebody offside. Another offsides call. Last week, North Platte, I think, tallied 6 offside calls against Lincoln Northeast. And they'll start the first one here, getting offsides on the initial jump. Carter Sedlak, the 6'1 senior. And that makes it a manageable 2nd down and 2, I would believe so, for the Dogs offense. Owen Shea still in. There's 2 wide receivers to the near side. Would not be shocked if we see our first pitch play to Ty Hannibal right here. They're going to actually keep it with Carter still. Up the middle he goes, and good running from the sophomore quarterback, and he'll get enough for the first down. Carter still moving the chains for the Dogs, and with that.
Again, really impressed with Caden Brex at center. He's creating a hole, whether it's for Shea or for Still.
Either which way, it's been working fantastic. And again, we were kind of shocked at how small this defensive line is because Columbus's offense is gigantic
they've got
up
a huge
front.
offensive line.
As now, Carter Still going to off the right side, hand it to Owen Shea, and he is brought down once again by Bryce Brown. But before he picks up 3, maybe if he's lucky 3 yards, they might just give him 2 initially. Brown rocketing up from his linebacker position as now Owen Shea finally checks out, and sophomore Keegan Klaus checks in. Of course, wearing their pink for breast cancer awareness.
Yep. I like that. I can
nice
spot him. He's got the pink socks on today.
And this is what we missed with Javen Reyes, who now is at Hershey, if I remember correctly.
The bright yellow shoes?
The pink shoes.
Oh, the pink shoes.
He was always the pink shoes man. Is Stifler in motion. Now, that's going to be some trouble as that's the wrong way on that pitch play as Stifler was the one in motion and Carter Still was looking to pitch it to Ty Hanneborg, but there was nobody there, and that's going to be a big loss for the Dogs.
Yeah, definitely a broken play that time by the Bulldogs.
3rd and 12. He was looking to pitch it, it looked like, to potentially Ty Hanneborg, but Stifler was the one that went in motion. And because of that, it's 3rd and 12 with 6:40 left to go. You would hate to see this drive end with no points, but
no. I'm sure it's 4-down territory, but still, you got 12 yards to pick up here.
Now there's a wide receiver to the far side, being Sam Euling for North Platte as Stifler's in motion. Now the pitch out to Connor Stifler. Hey, there's some daylight for Connor
block
Stifler.
On the edge.
Good block from Ty Hanneborg. Stifler falls close to the first down. Did he get it? Oh, they're going to say he's a yard. 2 yards short. Well, I don't know about that one, but great block on the far side from Ty Hanneborg. Makes it 4th and a manageable 2. I don't know how
Sam Euling over there got a block.
So Euling and Ty Hanneborg both with great blocks on the perimeter. Owen Shea checks back in. 4th and 2. I don't really know how I feel about that spot initially, but Dogs.
Another hard count.
Yeah.
Let's get them to jump again.
13 on the shot on the play clock, though, so the Dogs will have to really hurry. They're going to have to hurry it up.
Yeah,
they might see a timeout already from head coach Kurt Altig. No time really for that hard count. 5 seconds, 4 seconds. Now still under center. In motion goes Hanneborg. Now off the right side. Owen Shea spinning. Oh, no. I don't know if he got it. Wow, they're going to mark him short again. That far judge, in my opinion, has been a little short on some of his marks, and that's now a turnover on downs, it looks like, for North Platte, as Owen Shea with the second effort couldn't get there. And a disappointing way to end the first drive for North Platte after they started at their own 21-yard line and made it all the way to the Discoverers' 28. They are now down to 5:30 left to go here in this first quarter, and to come away with no points has to be a little heart-wrenching.
It is. Just that broken play, but most of the drive was pretty good.
It was. There was a lot of confidence ensued in that drive. You just hate to see that it did all that effort did not amount to anything offensively.
Just one mix-up, and that killed the drive, but let's see what the defense can do here.
Connor Williams now the quarterback for Columbus, as they'll hand it off to Eisman. Eisman now going to cut up the middle, and he'll fall forward. Actually, that's Michael Wojcicki, who takes the first handoff today for the Discoverers. And now this is where the scary part begins for the Bulldogs defense, because you got to deal with that, triple monster that is Wojcicki, Eisman, as well as Evan Daniels, as the defense mixing things up in motion. Now they're going to hand it off
they weren't set.
Omar Rozikov, as that's a false start for Columbus, as the flag will be thrown down on the field. Dogs are making a late adjustment as well, but the handoff to Rozikov will be called back following the false start, so that's a loss of a healthy amount of 5 to make it 2nd and 9. Now for the Discoverers offense. Here with 4:58 left to go in the opening quarter of play. Again, that shotgun formation for Connor Williams. Williams now rolling to his right, looking to throw. Williams now crossing his body to Rozikov, and he gets there at around the 31-yard line. First pickup for Rozikov is there. Colton Altig with the initial stop as well for North Platte High. Defensively was Blake Tonkinson also wrapping up Rozikov. So 3rd and a manageable 5 now for Columbus.
Front line for the Dogs looks like Kincaid, Tonkinson, Jacob Martinez, and Will Rathjen, your front 4. Perry and Shea, your middle linebackers.
Still in at running back, Wojcicki. 2 wide receivers to the near side, a very heavy set to the right, as Williams in that shotgun formation, stepping back, rolling to his left, looking to throw. Throwing now to the near sideline, and it's picked up. Good catch from Keegan Wemhoff. And that's a first down to the 45, as in coverage for North Platte, Ian Haremza. Good comeback route from Wemhoff, and that's a 1st and 10 now for the Discoverers at the Bulldogs now. At the Discoverers' 46-yard line with 3:50 left to go in this opening quarter of play. They're not a very deadly offense when it comes to the pass. They've mostly relied on their run game, but not something to scoff off with Connor Williams, a senior quarterback, is now in motion.
Whoops.
Here comes Evan Daniels, and that's another false start. As I believe that's number 6. If not, that's going to be Leighton Braithwaite.
3rd penalty for the Discoverers here in the first quarter.
And I think coach, coming out on the field is Discoverers coach.
Oh, is he wanting the timeout? Or?
Yep, they called a timeout as Columbus's coach not happy with how things have gone early on. That's their 3rd penalty. 1 offside, 2 false starts. I was going to say, because I've never seen a coach come out to the center of the field on a timeout. that was kind of interesting. But timeout for the Discoverers. Our timeouts brought to you in part by, of course, Kevin McGann and the Fortifying Group. You can check out Kevin McGann and the Fortifying Group and his location, 621 South Dewey. Sweet B, as well as our other sponsors for today's game, Justin Thompson Family Agency with American Family Insurance. The ever-changing industry standards, they pride themselves on top-notch customer service, no matter what type of insurance you are looking for. So nothing here with 3:36 left to go in the first quarter. Both teams really just eating that clock away, as we were expecting that to be the case with how run-heavy both sides were going to be. So far, not really much I can take away. North Platte's offense looked like it was dominating up front, was unable to convert in a 4th and 2 and so far for Columbus, they're just like North Platte, eating away slowly but steadily offensively.
So see where Kincaid is. They've been rolling the opposite direction of where Jake Kincaid is.
Seems like everybody every week is doing that.
So let's see if he rolls to the right. Jake's on the right side. Oh,
as the handoff now, that's going to be to Daniels. Evan Daniels, he's into the open field, and Evan Daniels might be gone. He's at the 25, 20, 15, 10, 5 touchdown, and there is one of the fastest men in the state of Nebraska, taking it all the way, all the way to the house. Evan Daniels with a Columbus touchdown. No flags, and because of that, it's now 6-0 the lead for Columbus. Gosh darn it. Dogs did a good job sealing the edge, but he just found an opening to cut inside.
And when you're a 10-5 sprinter, it's
10-5-9, you're out of here.
10-5-9, you're gone.
Yes, that's unfortunately how it goes, as Alexander Ugle now will be up to kick for Columbus. They lead 6 and now 7-0 on our State Farm agent Bobby Hull scoreboard. Dogs doing a good job keeping that offense in check before that big 59-yard touchdown run from Evan Daniels. And that's one that's going to sting. You know, the Dogs so far have looked pretty okay in terms of stopping Columbus from making big plays. And then bites them right there.
Yep. And again, like you said, defended pretty well. He just found that little crease, and boy.
And the thing is, and I appreciate this approach, seal the outside. You got to steal the perimeter when you have a speed back like that. Force him to cut up. But there was just a big enough hole that was just created from the offensive line that he found it, cut, and then used that acceleration to just zip away into the ether.
They ran opposite of Jake Kincaid. He was over on the near side, and they went to the wide side.
And you got to feel a little bad about him because Jake Kincaid so far, I think every week has been run the opposite side. And the Dogs defense has been trying desperately to, of course, move him around to, get in the best positions. But that's just good scouting. Good scouting from a coach, knowing that one of the best penetrators for North Platte is, of course, someone you're going up against as our agent Bobby Hull scoreboard as kicking up Brian CO for the Discoverers, as he has a nice light kick and returnable for Ty Hanneborg at the 10-yard line. Hanneborg now going to look to cut and bounce to the outside. Breaks through one tackle, almost broke through another, but will fall just short of the 20, maybe a 15-yard line for North Platte. Jason Delano there also on the stop for Columbus. So the Dogs will start their second drive today, just a little bit back from where they started last time out. Again, they were eating their way through that defense of Columbus before they couldn't convert a fourth down, as Keegan Klaus will now start this drive off as the lead power back for North Platte High School. Still single deep safety for this Discoverers defense as Stifler in motion off the left side. Keegan Klaus putting his head down and falls forward. Bryce Brown again wrapping up Klaus, but the sophomore keeps those legs turning and might have picked up 2 yards. We'll see. 2nd and 8 at least for the Dogs offense. Isaiah Plunk to the far side at speed back, as well as Connor Stifler. Also in at running back, or wide receiver for North Platte. I think that said, I don't know if that number said number 9, but I know Trayton Burke's not. It's number 3, sorry. Here's the Plunk now out to Isaiah Plunk as Plunk is pushed out of bounds, and he might have gotten enough for the first down. We'll see where they mark him. Yep, they give him enough. Isaiah Plunk with a very nice, look like 9-yard pickup for Plunk, and the Dogs keep the first downs going. Second pitch today, back-to-back times that they've pitched the ball, picking up some good yardage.
Yeah, both outside runs have both been successful, so let's see what we got here.
Again, that single deep safety, Carter Eisenman for the Discoverers, as in motion now was Plunk. Off the right side now, Keegan Klaus breaks through Brown's tackle, but he was just barely tripped up at the shoestrings by Bryce Brown. And 2nd and 8, man, Bryce Brown, a name that is already being named a lot today.
For sure.
Really flying up from that linebacker position, is now rotating in at wide receiver Reed O'Brien.
Let's go, Obi.
To the far side with Sam Euling. 31 on the play clock. 2:10 left to go in this opening quarter of play. 7-0 on our State Farm agent Bobby Holst scoreboard. Shout out again to my insurance agent, Miss Bobby Holst, helping me with my flood problem, as Still is immediately wrapped up as they were trying to go with that read option to keep himself. He might have gained actually a yard, as the first person there to stop him was Caden Johnson for Columbus to make it 3rd and 7. I mean, he blitzed right up the middle, and Stifler, luckily enough, held on to it and fell forward for a yard, but big 3rd and 7 with 1:36 left to go in the opening quarter. 7-0 the lead for the Discoverers. In motion, Stifler, and another jump off side once again by, I believe, Carter Sedlak, and that's now twice that Sedlak's jumped off sides, and the Columbus head coach fuming, as that's the fourth penalty for the Discoverers. And it's so funny because North Platte, not really running anything too crazy, but back-to-back weeks really punishing teams defensively with penalties. They just need to capitalize, I think, is the key word off those penalties. Struggled to do so last week in the second half. First half looked pretty good. Once again, Keegan Klaus, the power back. 3rd and a manageable 2 for the Dogs. Plunk in motion. Oh, no, as Carter still drops the football and loses a yard, and that is exactly not what the Dogs needed.
Ugh. Okay.
Yeah, that was not what the doctor ordered and what the doctor needed on that play.
4th and 3?
Yeah, 4th and 3 at the Bulldogs' 43-yard line. So Reed O'Brien checks out. Reese Perry as well as Colton Altig check in.
2 big tight ends coming into this side. You got to run to the right. They did that with Owen Shea the last time they were in this set.
It was short the last time they did run it, as Stifler in motion. Ooh, with 5 seconds, the Dogs might have to call a timeout here. Let's see, and they will. They ran out of time. They were trying to get Columbus offside. Now the question will be, will they punt it?
I think
you have to. You're not deep in the territory of the Discoverers like last time.
Is number 6 Daniels? Is he their punt returner?
I believe it would be.
Because he's standing on the edge of the.
Evan Daniels looks to be their punt returner for Columbus, which is also already a scary thing to hear. 7-0 on our State Farm agent Bobby Holst scoreboard. Our timeouts are brought to you in part by Kevin McGann and the Fortify Group. Check out his office, 621 South Dewey, Suite B, helping Nebraska families, farmers, and businesses for 50 years. As well as Hands of Heartland. Hands of Heartland has offered support and services for those with developmental disabilities in Nebraska since 1998, and bringing those services to the North Platte area. FM 98.1, AM 1410, live streaming on our Cedar Room live stream. Go on out to the Cedar Room. Have you been to the Cedar Room recently, Mr. Smeltzer? I think you're missing out on some good stuff.
It was anniversary in April. Our wedding anniversary. I think it was the last time we were there. Delicious.
Oh, it's so good.
It's outstanding.
How did I gain 20 pounds in the last year? It's basically because of the Cedar Room. So now it looks like the Dogs offense are going to go for it here on 4th down, as still deep to return is Evan Daniels as the deep safety just in case, but another gutsy 4th down call. 4th and 3 with 26 seconds left to go in this opening quarter of play. In motion, Isaiah Plunk off the right side. Keegan Klaus. Keegan Klaus falls forward. He's going to be short again by a whole yard. They really marked that further than a 4th and 3, and in back-to-back offensive possessions on 4th down, the Dogs don't get it, and because of that, a turnover on downs for North Platte's offense once more. They're getting, that was a long 4th and 3. I think they really should have just punted it.
I thought maybe they're going to come out in that formation and then shift to a punt formation.
Yeah, see if they get them off sides. Yeah, see if you get them off sides.
Try and get them to jump and then back up into a punt formation. But now
Carter Eisenman is the head running back for Columbus. Daniels in at that trips wide receiver as Eisenman off the left side now going to juke his way forward and making a diving stop. Not only was Reese Perry, but Blake Tonkinson diving from his lineman position to record that tackle with 9 seconds left to go. It'll be 2nd and 6, but it looks like we'll make our way into the end of the first quarter. 7-0 on our State Farm agent Bobby Holst scoreboard. It's Columbus up top over North Platte, and we come back to Bauer Field on FM 98.1, AM 1410, and live streaming on our Cedar Room live stream at NorthPlattePost.com.
We considered hiring an ad agency to help with our marketing.
They pitched impressive visuals and a script that was inspiring.
And exotic animal mascots to help grab your attention.
In the end, we just decided to tell it to you straight. Shelter Insurance has award-winning customer service at affordable rates.
Plus, our local agents are there to help you understand what coverage you need.
Ask me, Shelter Agent Brent Rogo, how to protect what you have waited for. Find me at 405 East C Street in North Platte.
Hey, high school students, why wait to start college when you can begin transforming your future for free? Mid-Plains Community College is now offering free tuition for dual credit and early entry classes beginning this fall. Get ahead, save money, and transform your future while in high school. Talk to your high school guidance counselor or visit our website at mpcc.edu. That's mpcc.edu. Students are responsible for all course-related fees and must attend a Nebraska high school or Nebraska homeschool to qualify.
North Platte Post Sports.
Welcome back here to Bauer Field, FM 98.1, AM 1410, and yes, video live streaming on our Cedar Room live stream at NorthPlattePost.com. Paxton Gordon, Jeff Smeltzer here, currently a 7-0 lead for Columbus and the Discoverers. Shotgun formation for Connor Williams. In motion comes Daniels. Play action pass. Looking deep down the middle of the field. Wide open man. It's caught and going to the house. Omar Rozikov gets past the Bulldogs secondary and Sam Ewing for a touchdown. And just like that.
They froze the defensive backs because they faked that handoff.
Play action,
Faked that little reverse again, that little jet sweep with Daniels, and that just kind of held the cornerback, and Rozikov got behind him, and that's all she wrote.
That's now 13 unanswered points for Columbus with 11:53 left to go here in this first half as the kick is up. And it is good, 14-0 on our State Farm agent. Bobby Hull's scoreboard didn't take much, Jeff Smeltzer, before Columbus once again scores. I think it only took them 2 plays to score a touchdown. And now it's 14-0 on our State Farm agent, Bobby Hull's scoreboard. Timeouts, as always, though, beforehand, brought to you in part by Kevin McGann and the Fortifying Group. Check out Kevin McGann and the Fortifying Group at his location, 621 South Dewey, Suite B.
That pass was right on the money too.
That was a nice pass by Williams. I will give it to him. It was a very clean, good pass, but at the same time, it's just something you hate to see if you're a fan of North Platte High School, just because of you're hoping that they can really lock it down just a little more. But good play action pass, and really it's tough when you have that dual trips bunch right by the offensive line because you could kind of run almost a pick play, and that's kind of how it was. A little bit of a bait with that play action, and then they went with the cross.
Play action, and then it was a well-designed play. You had 2 guys just streaking down the field. One occupied the safety, and then Rozikov on the outside was just uncovered, and little breakdown that time.
Royson now up to kick once again for Columbus and the Discoverers. Very high short kick as that's going to be fielded at the 15-yard line for Ty Hanneborg. Hanneborg trying to bust through, but a very, very well-guarded special teams unit as Bryce Brown, once again, the first Discoverer there to stop Hanneborg. 1st and 10 for the Dogs. They'll start their 3rd offensive possession at their 25-yard line. Still trailing 14-0, 11:47 left to go. I mean, offensively, I think they've looked pretty good. Just some 4th down calls that just haven't gone their way on back-to-back possessions, and they trail by 14 early on. Keegan Klaus still in it, the power back lead position. Still under center. Ty Hanneborg to the near side, I believe Stifler to the far side. In motion in that jet sweep, Ty Hanneborg going to bounce to the outside. Hanneborg now cuts back upfield, trying to cut once more. He's spun around and will keep the legs turning. The senior Ty Hanneborg might fall 2 yards short, a pickup of 8 yards.
Way to keep chopping wood, young man.
The jet sweep as we have another timeout. Oh, an injured defensive player. That's Carter Eisenman, who is injured right now. It looks like it might be just a cramp from the look of things, as the bright green shoes clearly indicating Eisenman out there with his easy to recognizable color pattern, but it looks like a cramp for the senior Eisenman. So we'll have the 2nd timeout already called by Columbus in this first half. Dogs are now at a manageable 2nd and 3.
And he just jogged off the field, so yeah.
So good little
Was a
good.
cramp.
So 2nd and 3 for North Platte. Good pickup from Ty Hanneborg. A little scary. Those jet sweeps specifically from behind the in that under center formation are a little scary as we've seen previously, get stuffed immediately. But 2nd and manageable 3 for North Platte. Still in the game at power back is Keegan Klaus as Carter still under center. Stifler in motion. As now the pitch out to Connor Stifler.
Upfield,
Great block
Connor.
up front. Oh, but just blowing right past Ty Hanneborg. I believe is going to
Number
be
10.
Leighton Braithwaite, number 8.
Number 8.
Blew right. It was a good initial block from Hanneborg, and then he slipped right off of said block, and a loss of 2 yards to make it still a manageable 5 yards, 3rd and 5 for North Platte. I mean, if Hanneborg was able to seal that block, Stifler had a lot of daylight. But 3rd and 5, that heavy set now to the far side with Ewing as well as Altig. Ty Hanneborg, the speed back, and Klaus, the power back. In motion was Plunk. Now, the pitch out to Ty Hanneborg, and once again, he is just immediately stuffed. This time, the man there on the stop, I believe, Evan Syme. And that's now a 4th and long. It get all the way back to the initial line of scrimmage, 4th and 10, and here comes that punt unit. After initial good play from the Dogs, 2 straight plays after that for negative yards, and it's now a punt time for North Platte High School, trailing 14-0. That right side, especially on this drive, not having their best snaps, and that's Jake Kincaid and Blake Tonkinson out there who have been so good this season. High snap, as Carter still just able to get it off. Not a good punt. Well, I say that. Might take a nice favorable bounce. No, it will not. The Dogs will mark it at the maybe 49-yard line is where it'll finally be placed. So
26-yard punt that time.
Not the best for Carter still, who was looking pretty good in pregame warmups when it comes to his kicking, but Columbus so far 2 for 2 on their scoring drives. 59-yard touchdown run from Evan Daniels, and then a very, very long touchdown pass to Roscoff. And now Wojtkowski back in at running back as Connor Williams, the quarterback. Williams now to Wojtkowski. Wojtkowski with some patience will keep managing and microing his way, cutting through the defense, and he might have picked up about 4 or 5 yards on the initial attack from Michael Wojtkowski. Let's see what they give him. It might be 5. Yep, they'll give him the 5 yards. 2nd and 5 now for this Discoverers offense. 4 wide receivers, 2 to the far side, 2 to the near side. In the slot is Evan Daniels, the Dogs' defensive line, making some adjustments as Connor Williams will now look to the sideline and now move the offensive to a shotgun formation. Now, quick pass to Daniels. Actually, to the far side it goes to Colton Jarecki, and Jarecki is spun down. Pickup of 7 yards. First catch for Jarecki. Just want to let you know. Jeff Smeltzer said Jarecki wasn't playing today. I'm just kidding, Smeltzer.
No, that was Renteria I said wasn't
Oh,
playing.
sorry. I'm the one. Jeez Louise. Maybe I need to get my hearing checked out. But another quick pass that has just beaten the Dogs is now 2 passes so far today that have been pretty quick that the Dogs.
Yeah, Connor Williams is 4 for 4 on the day.
In motion, Daniels. They'll now hand it off to Wojtkowski off the left side. He'll break through 1 tackle, and he breaks almost into the open field before he is drugged down from behind by Ian Haremza. He might have gotten enough for the first down. He broke through 1 initial tackle, and then Haremza hung on to his life. Kind of had a little bit of a drop tackle, and it'll be 2nd down and 1 for the Discoverers offense, as the far judge was indicating for a first down, but
was he the same one from Northeast?
Nope, now they're now they're giving it to him.
Not even going to measure that.
Again, as Smeltzer says, the rules is the coach has to request for a measurement if he thinks it's close, but 1st and 10 at the Bulldogs' 38-yard line for the Discoverers, once again looking to make it 3 for 3 offensively.
That one was close, not as egregious as last
That's
week.
true. I can give you the benefit of the doubt on that one.
Yeah.
As Williams in that pistol formation will look to the sideline. 9 seconds left to go on the play clock with 8:03 left to go. The handoff to Wojtkowski off the left side with some good patience. Now will fall forward. Plethora of black jerseys swarming Wojtkowski. First there to receive that is Tiernan Vanalik for North Platte. So Pickup of 5 yards once again for Wojcicki, and Ian Haremza now is going to have to come off. I think he might have lost his helmet. As we have an official's timeout as Haremza checks out. Going to get a repair on his helmet, it looks like. So Haremza's out and checking in.
I don't know who that, that might be Harper Whitney.
It makes sense. He does have that knee brace on.
Yeah.
Whitney, of course, tore his ACL against Benson almost this exact same time last year. So if that is Harper Whitney, he did wear 5 last year, if I remember correctly off the top of my head. Cade Freeze no longer.
Started with number 5 this year, but he's out with an injury. And
is now rolling to his left. Connor Williams deep towards the end zone. Evan Daniels. Oh, but it's intended for Keegan Wemhoff, as it was Sam Ewing in coverage of Wemhoff and through the hands, and that's an incomplete pass. First incompletion for Connor Williams. Whichever way he went, Evan Daniels or Wemhoff, they were both open in the end zone.
Yeah, they'd both gotten behind their defender. And
Dogs really on the secondary getting bit right now with that play action pass, not really staying home on the defensive side, and because of that have almost gotten burned twice in back-to-back possessions. 3rd and 5 now with 7:14 left to go. Pistol formation once again for Connor Williams. Wojcicki in the backfield. They'll hand it off now and going on that jet sweep. That's Rozikov. Rozikov might have gotten enough for the first down. He is right at that stick. We'll see where they mark it. Oh, he might be just half yard short. He is a half yard, almost a full yard short. 4th and 1. Wouldn't be shocked if the Discoverers go for it here. With 7:09 left to go. Wojcicki.
Okay, stiffen up, Dogs.
Now it looks like they'll go to that power set. Bryce Brown in. Oh, boy, almost like a Liberty formation as Wojcicki takes the direct snap off the Wildcat, and he'll keep the legs turning, clearly getting enough for the first down, and he'll fall at around the Bulldog 19-yard line. First time that Columbus is in the red zone. Wildcat formation for Wojcicki. And with that, 7:02 left to go in this opening half of play. 1st and 10 for the Discoverers, leading 14-0. So once again, Connor Williams in. Kind of at that tight end position. Evan Daniels, a threat for that jet sweep, as well as Rozikov. As Williams will look towards the sideline. The play clock hasn't started yet. So play clock still has not started. As now the pitch out to Rozikov, who now goes on the jet sweep. Wrapped up at the legs by Owen Shea.
A nice stop that time.
A little bit of a free play for the Discoverers. The play clock didn't start, so really didn't have any pressure to get going. 2nd down and 7 now for Columbus following Rozikov's pickup. 6:16 left to go. The Dogs trailing by 14-0 on our State Farm agent Bobby Hull's scoreboard. Again, just a different defensive game this week. Didn't really let the big play go, and so far this week have let 2 big plays get across. Wojcicki into the open field. A lot of black jerseys there to stop him, but he'll get, look like, enough for the first down on where they maybe spot him. They've been very generous with some of their spots today, I'll have to say, on either side. Not really giving them that extra yard. It's 3rd and 2 as the quick snap to Wojcicki. He'll get enough for the first down and get to about the 5, maybe 4-yard line. They'll quick snap it, get him to the 4. 1st and goal now for the Discoverers. At the 3-yard line. Again, with 5:32 left to go in this opening half, 14-0 the score for Columbus. This might be one of the fastest games, Jeff Smelters, we've seen in years.
Oh, I know it.
35 minutes have only passed so far. As Connor Williams will once again go to that pistol formation to the near side, and wide receiver Keegan Wemhoff. Daniels, that kind of tight end speed back. In motion comes Evan Daniels. They hand it off to Wojcicki, and he'll easily waltz his way in for yet another Discoverer touchdown. He went untouched off the left side, and it's a touchdown for Columbus. They lead 20-0 on our State Farm agent Bobby Hull scoreboard. Impressive drive for the Discoverers. Started at the Bulldog 49-yard line. And they
that's nice play design. You fake the jet sweep and hand it back inside to Wojcicki.
As Ugle will now kick it up into the air and through the uprights. Extra point is good. 21 unanswered points. The Discoverers 3 for 3 on their offensive possession tonight compared to North Platte High School, who's 0 for 3 so far with two turnover on downs and then a 25-yard punt. So I know you haven't tallied up the total yards, but they're getting good marks. But just like the problem that always seems to stem from the Dogs' offense, the Vic Fangio death by 1,000 cuts, death by 1,000 inches approach sometimes just doesn't work when you have a team like Columbus that is doing the same thing but getting even more chunks out of plays.
Columbus has 2 plays for touchdowns that totaled 100 yards.
Yeah.
And then that was a shorter one, but the first 2 touchdowns were 59 and 41. So, they can go quick strike or they can ground and pound.
And, of course, the North Platte offense, as we all know, is, as I said, death by 1,000 inches. So it ekes as much clock away. And if you're not able to really score off the opening, receive, you're already off on the back foot if your defense struggles to find a stop. And so far the defense today has given up 2 big plays. And then, of course, just that last 3-yard run by Wojcicki as kick on down to Ty Hanneborg, received at the 15 once again. Hanneborg now going to try to bounce it once more to the outside. He'll cut upfield. There's going to be look like a block in the back against North Platte. A flag thrown at around the 25-yard line. So the Dogs will most certainly be stepping back after a relatively good return by Ty Hanneborg. As the punt unit, the kickoff unit, very, very young in terms of the players that head coach Kurt Altig is playing.
Yeah, typical, you give your starters a rest on the special teams, and you got the younger guys in there, and somebody got a block in the.
I'd assume a block in the either a block in the. No, it's going to be a hold.
Okay.
So, as Charlie Hunter looks to check in for North Platte's offense, Plunk also in, as well as Connor Stifler with Keegan Klaus, the lead back. So the Dogs will start their 5th drive today at their own 17-yard line. 1st and 10 for North Platte High School, trailing 21-0. 5:03 left to go in the half. You would love to see them score to end the half because, again, Columbus will be receiving the second half kickoff. Plunk in motion off the right side. Keegan Klaus falling forward.
There's that slippery part to his game.
We love Keegan Klaus. At the same time, he leans so far forward in some of his runs. He's almost
kind of loses his balance.
Yeah, he's falling almost his way forward. But I'll have to say it does get the job done. A pickup of 3 yards for Klaus. 2nd and 7 now for the Dogs offense. And it's tough because, I wish we see more of Owen Shea because I love the way he runs physicality-wise, but understandable to give him some rest. And Keegan Klaus, no slouch himself when it comes to the lead back duties as the powerful man. As Stifler now was the man in motion. Now the pitch out to Isaiah Plunk. It's in the backfield. Plunk's going to pick it up, it looks like. Well, that's going to be a monster loss for the Dogs offense. Another pitch this time went behind Isaiah Plunk. He picks it up all the way back at the North Platte, maybe 10-yard line, a 3rd and now 14, 7-yard loss for North Platte. And, oh boy, Mr. Smelter.
Yeah.
Once again, the Dogs just getting in their way mistake-wise in key moments where they really are hoping not to have that problem. 3rd and 18 with 4:42 left to go. As now, Stifler still rolling back, looking to throw. He's going to be almost sacked for a safety. As good awareness from Carter Still to step up into the pocket and at least avoid the safety, but another big loss for the Bulldogs offense, and Carter Still going to have a really tough job of punting this football deep in his end zone at the Bulldog 3-yard line if he's lucky from the placement.
Well, if things go awry, safety is better than giving up a touchdown here.
That's true, but at least if you give a touchdown, you at least get the ball back.
If there's a bad snap or if there's a...
Oh, boy, that is a very short field, and it looks like Columbus really is looking to go all out on this kickoff, on this punt here. As snap, beautifully placed. Beautiful, good kick from Carter Still, as it's going to take a nice North Platte bounce at around the 50 as Evan Daniels now with that speed takes off, but Ian Haremza tackle stopping Evan Daniels. So they got to the 3-yard line on that kick, and Columbus will take it back to the Bulldog 40-yard line. So, oh boy, a punt of 40? I'm trying to think, 47?
From the 2, and it landed at, it landed on the other side of the 50, didn't it?
It did, yes, it did, and then he brought it back,
he caught it, he picked it up on the other side of the 50, so it may have been about a 50-yard punt, and
about 10-yard, about 9-yard return from Evan Daniels. So here comes Columbus once again. They've scored on every possession so far in this opening half of play.
Now you got Daniels behind the quarterback.
Yeah, very far back in this pistol formation, as they'll hand it off to Daniels to give him some speed. Evan Daniels into the open field, but a great tackle, I believe.
There's a flag, so we might have a hold.
It looks like they're pointing at Keegan Wemhoff, but good tackle from Ty Hanneborg to stop Daniels. I love, that play call. Have Daniels super far back to get as much speed as he can.
Get the legs moving.
That should be a hold going against Keegan Wemhoff in the Discoverers offense, and with that, they'll go back. Another penalty for Columbus, their 6th today, if I remember correctly. They'll now start a first down and 15 or 17, for
and I think North Platte only had the one holding penalty.
Yep, off that kick on that last kickoff. Yep. So Eisenman is back in following his cramp earlier in the game, as Williams in the very short shotgun formation. Rozakov in motion. They hand it off to Rozakov. Omar Rozakov to the far side, trying to find some daylight. Runs into his own man before he is tackled by, I believe, Ian Haremza again, and Owen Shea. And Kincaid in the vicinity as well. Rozakov tried to cut back into the inside part of the field, but ran into his own back of his blocker. So 2nd and 12 off the run from Omar Rozakov. 1:50 left to go in this opening half, a 21-0 lead for Columbus. Be great if the Dogs can stop the Discoverers from scoring before going to halftime, since Columbus does receive the opening second half kick. Now, rolling to his right, Connor Williams. Breaks through. Reese Perry breaks through another, but is going to be brought down for at least a gain of 2 from Jake Kincaid. Very close to a horse collar tackle, though, from Reese Perry. But lucky for Connor Williams to keep the play alive. 3rd and 10 for the Discoverers with 1:15 left to go.
A good penetration by Perry that time. Reese was pretty close.
There was three different Bulldogs in the backfield against Connor Williams. 1:02 left to go, as, again, the play clock not starting. As empty backfield, 5 wide receivers for Columbus. 3 to the far side, 2 to the near side. Evan Daniels in that center of the screen, as now up in the pocket. Short throw as Williams.
Rathjen was there to harass him.
Yeah, and it looked like the intended target was Keegan Wemhoff, as Williams stepped up right into Will Rathjen. And that is an incomplete pass, 4th and 10. And for the first time today, Columbus will bring the punt unit on with 44 seconds left to go. Keegan Wemhoff kicking for Columbus. Ty Hanneborg deep to return. 4th and 10, 44 seconds left to go. A big kickoff here would go a long way, Mr. Smelter. It's been a long time since we've seen a kickoff return touchdown, I think, or punt touchdown. It might have been all the way back to Colton Tilford's time. Low snap to Wemhoff. Very spinny kick, and it's going to go all the way. Oh, no, it doesn't go into the end zone. It rolls out.
Why did we try to...
no, as Sam Ewing picks it up at the 5, but almost disaster for the Dogs, as
I had to lean around the window to see it. It looked like it was going in the end zone, so
it took the darnest of bounces at the half-yard line out of the end zone. So North Platte will start offense at the 2. Well, no, they'll start them at the 4. Woo. But still 1st and 10 for North Platte here with less than 35 seconds to go in this opening half of play, trailing 21-0. Klaus, the power back, still in at quarterback. Under center he goes. In motion, Ty Hanneborg. The handoff off the right side for Keegan Klaus. Klaus stumbling his way forward. Klaus spinning forward. Keegan Klaus.
10-yard gain. Yeah.
Picking up good run for the sophomore. 25 seconds is the stop clocks to get everyone set up. 1st and 10 for North Platte. Biggest run for Klaus today. And with 18 seconds, once again, Klaus off the right side. Still rolling forward as he's tackled up front and behind by white jerseys. And that'll do it, Jeff Smeltzer, for the first half. North Platte High School will go into halftime trailing 21-0 on our State Farm agent Bobby Holst scoreboard in what was a, oh boy, I don't even know how to describe really this first half, because I wasn't too upset with how the Dogs were really running their offense in terms of the yards they were getting or how they were really moving the football. Just 2 really big plays coming from the Discoverers offense, a 59-yard touchdown run from Evan Daniels, and then that 41 touchdown throw to I believe that was to Omar Razakov.
Yep.
And then the drive that resulted again in that other touchdown off of the 3-yard run from Wojkowski, and that's how we got 21-0. You know, holistically, hindsight 50-50, you cut back on those 2 big plays, which have this season not really cost the Dogs. Dogs really haven't given up big plays all season. It's 7-0.
Yeah.
It's 7-0 at that point if you get those 2 mistakes out of the way on those 2 big gains.
No, and you've had time of possession, and you've moved the ball fairly well.
Yeah,
and,
you're not struggling to.
No.
It's once again, and again, we all feel like a broken record as we always are, but it's mistakes that are of your own nature. 2 back-to-back possessions where they get an initial good start to the drive, and then they go back on their own accord, and then they can't get themselves out of the hole. And again, give credit to Columbus. They are. They're taking advantage of the Dog mistakes and their turnover on downs that they've had, and it's now 21-0 on our State Farm agent Bobby Holst scoreboard. And unfortunately, Columbus will be receiving the second half kickoff. So unfortunately, it's not going to get any better for North Platte if they can't find a stop. They did force a 3-and-out on the not this most recent drive, but the previous drive before that, for the Discoverers offense, but still a lot of work to do.
Yeah, there is. Yeah, there is. But I don't know. Maybe catch a break here and get a quick turnover or a quick 3-and-out. And
they just got to score. I think, and this is how the games have really gone. If they don't score early on, then things are going to get really tough because you have to come back from that being down. So I think, and again, I sound like a broken record. 1 foot in front of the other. You got to get a score when you come out of halftime on your first possession to at least show that you can still, you got something still in you. Not saying that they are going to give up, but to keep this Columbus side still on their toes.
You look at the positives. You take away those 2 big plays, and it's
7-0.
Yeah,
7-0 at that point.
So
because that's what 100. You said that's 101. It's 100 yards.
100 yards on 2 plays.
Yeah,
so.
you clutch that away, and they're at maybe 50.
Yeah, I haven't got to their stats yet. Working on the Bulldogs, but.
It's not a lot. It's not a lot. So we'll step aside. Jeff will give the stats. We'll have it all ready for you. We come back. Quick stop halftime show. We come back here to Bauer Field on FM 98.1, AM 1410, and video live streaming on our Cedar Room live stream at NorthPlattePost.com.
Al just won a popularity contest.
Oh, thank you.
You're almost as popular as the Runza Southwest Chicken Salad.
Oh, what? Because it has crispy chicken, shredded cheddar, tortilla strips, taco seasoning, and salsa?
And Southwest Ranch. And yes,
I'd be more popular if I came with Southwest Ranch.
We all would. Come get the Southwest Chicken Salad at Runza today. Because from the way we make it to the way it makes you feel, Runza makes it all better.
Your family depends on you. That's why you work hard to make sure they have everything they need. With life insurance from American Family Life Insurance Company, you'll feel good knowing you've taken steps to protect what matters most. Now's the time to plan ahead. Let's talk about protecting your loved one's financial future and finding peace of mind you and your loved ones deserve. For details, contact Justin, 534-2400, or stop by 501 South Dewey Street, just south of Little Caesars Pizza on the corner of E and Dewey.
American Family Insurance.
Experience the beauty of downtown North Platte and enjoy lunch or dinner at the Cedar Room. The Cedar Room is an unparalleled restaurant experience with its unique atmosphere where modern meets rustic. Enjoy a handcrafted cocktail made with the freshest ingredients by a master mixologist while dining from their delicious American fusion cuisine menu. Make a reservation by calling 308-532-4825 or reserve online at thecedarroomne.com. The Cedar Room, 505 North Dewey in beautiful downtown North Platte.
It's time to rise to the occasion. Rough Country suspension and leveling lift kits are designed to be easy to install but offer the on and off-road performance you need. And Rough Country is market-leading prices. Ford, Chevy, GMC, Jeep, Dodge, Toyota, Nissan, it doesn't matter what emblem your truck is wearing. If it needs a suspension or leveling lift kit, Rough Country has what you need. And Maxwell's has Rough Country. Maxwell's Off-Road in Kawasaki Center, East 7th Street, North Platte.
Hey, high school students, why wait to start college when you can begin transforming your future for free? Mid-Plains Community College is now offering free tuition for dual credit and early entry classes beginning this fall. Get ahead, save money, and transform your future while in high school. Talk to your high school guidance counselor or visit our website at mpcc.edu. That's mpcc.edu. Students are responsible for all course-related fees and must attend a Nebraska high school or Nebraska homeschool to qualify.
Every step should feel great, but if foot pain, bunions, heel spurs, or injuries are slowing you down, Great Plains Foot and Ankle Specialist is here to help. Their expert team of doctors provide top-notch care, from routine foot health to advanced treatments and surgery. Whether you're an athlete, always on the go, or just tired of aching feet, they'll get you back on your feet pain-free. Step into comfort. Call Great Plains Foot and Ankle Specialist today, or see them online at gpfootandankle.com.
When facing a breast cancer diagnosis, the last thing you should worry about is scheduling multiple appointments in different locations. Great Plains Health New Breast Center changes everything with their single-visit care model. Meet with your entire team in one coordinated appointment. Oncologists, surgeons, and patient navigators all working together for you. Complete care and clear direction all in one day. Great Plains Health Breast Center, putting you first. Call 308-568-7386 to schedule your appointment.
The Marisando Society invites you to the 2025 Pilster Great Plains Lecture, September 18th at 7:30 p.m. in the Student Center Ballroom at Chadron State College. This year's featured speaker is Jerry Robinson, writer, historian, and member of the Northern Cheyenne Nation, presenting the Northern Cheyenne Homecoming, reclaiming, renaming, and reframing history. It's a powerful evening of indigenous perspective, history, and healing you won't want to miss. Details at marisandosociety.org.
The Bulldogs play here on FM 98.1 and 1410 AM KOOQ. Merrick's Ranch House. Lunch specials Tuesday through Saturday with two sides, just $10. See them on Facebook. Dine in, order online, use DoorDash, or just call for carryout. Merrick's.
North Platte Post Sports.
Welcome back here to Bauer Field, FM 98.1, AM 1410, and of course, video live streaming on our Cedar Room live stream, NorthPlattePost.com. 21-0 the lead in favor of Columbus and the Discoverers. You can watch, of course, every live game for the Bulldogs this season. NorthPlattePost.com on our Cedar Room live stream. Currently, it's at 21-0. Here are the stats so far, of course, on our Quick Stop halftime show. 70 yards of passing for Connor Williams and the Discoverers, 131 rushing yards, grand total of 201 on the ground. And, of course, North Platte High School just rushing for 61. No turnovers on their ends, and it would be more if they converted on those two fourth down conversions in those last two drives, which unfortunately did not, go in a positive direction. But you don't like the score. 21-0 is not the score you were hoping for after a really impressive week last week against Lincoln Northeast. Now, granted, Columbus, I clearly
definite step up in competition.
Yeah, and no offense to Lincoln Northeast, I think that program is headed in the right direction. Finally, after years of really trying to find good footing, there still is a gap between these two schools. Columbus much better and are putting it to the Dogs right now, but not in the sense that the scoreboard would show. You see 21-0, and you think, boy, it's an absolute slaughter. Dogs must have looked horrible on offense. We think not. I personally think they are still making really good, the progression that they're doing is sound. It's looking good. They're just not getting that over that final hump. That last little bit to get the first down is, I think, where the struggle so far tonight has been.
Or you're moving the ball and you miss a block on the edge.
Yeah, one small block, bad pitch.
Yeah, bad pitch, or you fumble a snap and you have to recover it right there. So, North Platte just has small margin for error. So you about got to be perfect on every play, and you're asking all 11 guys
who are mostly, again, even though they are, at this point in the season, you can't call them still new, still a lot of them in there, I think 19 total, but on the offensive side, maybe 9 fresh new starters.
Still seeing a lot of good things. Just need to be consistent and don't have those hiccups, And
I think that's what kind of maybe might get in the head sometimes of the Dogs is they know they have a pretty small margin of operating window before things get out of hand. And we can see how that can mentally crumble a team. Not saying these guys aren't mentally strong, but just the overall weight of having to play nearly perfect to get the offense to roll. And what is it? One small thing, even if it's just a fumble on a drop snap and they lose 2 yards, there goes all of their momentum.
Yeah, even on the more veteran Bulldog teams, they're just not cut out to be 3rd and 12 or 3rd and 10. That's just not the way they play. The blunt force trauma, like Coach likes to say. When you're backed up 3rd and 10, 3rd and 12, it makes it tough.
And again, completely different teams. The last 3 years of Bulldog teams have actually been really experienced.
Yeah.
They've had a really good pipeline. This is really the first year in, I keep always saying it, man, it feels like a while, more than 5 years that they've had a totally fresh green unit on the field. And you're expecting to have these, hiccups throughout a game. So each week I still think they're getting better. I think each week, as Coach says, they are getting better. And I think now have found that lineup that they should stick with. I feel at some point you got to stop moving people around and just stick with something.
And they're playing with more confidence. You can see that. The confidence grows each week. And I don't know what the class was 2 years ago. Last year's class, 25, 27
That was
strong.
the Xavier Albertson era, if I remember correctly.
And I don't think, I'm going to have to go back. I've seen the poster of the senior football players. I think it's under 10. If it's
it's pretty short.
If there's even 10
Yeah, even the
seniors out.
Colton Tilford era was pretty small. Of all the people that left, it was Tilford and then Brock Robley on the offensive side that really, were big difference makers. The line maybe had to replace 1 or 2 guys, but that line was pretty consistent for 3 years.
Yeah, Caleb Kincaid was in that class, so you had standout defensive end.
Yeah, and tight end, quote unquote. So it's a small step. I think they're making good waves. They just need to. I think honestly, a victory would do a lot for this team. I think we're hitting this point in the season where the number of 0-5, even though Coach says the team doesn't really look at it and they aren't going to really care about it, it does start to weigh. No matter how much you say, it's always going to weigh on the back of their mind. I honestly think a victory would really do wonders for this program to at least not build the confidence back up, but at least tell them, hey, all this work we're doing is leading to somewhere. It's paying off. Yeah.
I did look. I'm sorry. It's 14 seniors. I thought it was less than 10, but it's 14. But again, seeing some good things tonight. Let's hope the second half just play clean. Good thing with 1 penalty tonight for the Dogs.
No turnovers so far.
No turnovers.
1 penalty. So the problem this time has just been they're shooting themselves in the foot on a couple of back-to-back possessions that are not penalties or turnovers. It's just bad execution.
So, they're playing cleaner football. They're not hurting themselves with penalties and turnovers. Just clean things up with the blocks and the ball handling. And
one solid drive. Honestly, just like we saw last week when they had their first opening drive and just mollywopped, that Rockets defense, you really could see that confidence skyrocketed through the roof. If they could get it doesn't matter if they give up a touchdown on this opening drive to Columbus. If they come back and answer with a touchdown, I think then things are going to be good. I think they're going to be in the right direction with how things are going. So we'll step aside one more time on our Quick Stop halftime show. We come back. We'll give you our Owls Lock and Safe keys to the second half and break down what else the Dogs need to do to come back in this game against Columbus on FM 98.1, AM 1410, and live streaming on our Cedar Room live stream at NorthPlattePost.com.
Save
Save money at the pump and Quick Stop with the DinoPay app. DinoPay offers contactless payment using your preferred debit or credit card. The savings add up with 12 cents per gallon and even more on Tuesdays and Thursdays with rollbacks for savings of 15 cents per gallon. Huge savings to Sinclair DinoPay, saving you at the pump. Don't forget Frazzle Gourmet Slushes and For Real Shakes and Smoothies. Gourmet coffee at everyday low prices on your favorite beers.
As the crisp fall air rolls in, it's the perfect time to secure the insurance protection you need. Fortify Group has over 50 years of trusted experience serving customers in North Platte and beyond. We're here to cover all your needs: farm, crop, auto, home, and commercial insurance. Whether it's harvest season or time to winterize your home, we work with multiple carriers to find the best coverage for you. Visit fortifygroup.net to learn more or stop by our office at 621 South Dewey and chat with me, Kevin McCann. No matter the season, you can rely on Fortify.
PuroClean of North Platte delivers fast water, mold, and fire damage restoration services to the North Platte area. PuroClean knows how challenging those times can be to you and to your family. Their Nebraska-based experts have a winning, reliable combination of training and equipment partnerships. Local, fast service in the North Platte area. Their average on-site time is 60 minutes, and they'll coordinate with your local insurance provider. Give PuroClean a call now at 1-800-775-7876 and schedule a visit from a member of the team at PuroClean in North Platte.
Hey, we've all been there. You're in the middle of something important, and then boom, the power goes out. But what if it didn't? What if you skipped the candles and flashlights and just carried on with your day? With a Kohler generator, your power stays on, even when the utility power goes out. So your food stays fresh and your home stays powered, and you stay happy. When it comes to reliability, nothing beats a Kohler generator. Get the facts and find your generator at D12 Industries in North Platte.
North Platte Post Sports.
Welcome back here to Bauer Field, FM 98.1, AM 1410, and yes, video live streaming on our Cedar Room live stream, NorthPlattePost.com. It is a 21-0 lead for Columbus and the Discoverers here on our Quick Stop halftime show. Jeff Meltzer, of course, I don't know if I told you, I think I told you yesterday, but we have figured out the last new Class A team for football. It's Bennington. So next year's schedule will be a little different, of course, due to that NSAA rule change. But the new schools are, well, I'll be dang. Well, look at that.
No.
That makes no sense.
No, we'll talk about that later.
Oh, boy. But yes, Bennington.
Bennington is really growing. That's a community that I can see that happening.
Bennington, Elkhorn North, Lincoln Northwest, and Standing Bear all going to Class A next year. Of course, moving the list up to 36 Class A teams, and of course, changing the districts in the schedule. So essentially now there's not going to be individual districts at the 7 different districts. I think from what it sounded like, there'll be 3 main districts, each playing to each other's schedule strengths from last season, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, and I'm curious to see how that plays out. They said everybody should have a competitive schedule.
So how does that, and we talked about that lower end of the tier bracket schedule, do they get a playoff spot?
I don't know, and if they do, I'm sure it's not as many as the other two
divisions. It'll be
divisions.
like 15, 16, I'd assume, something like that.
Yeah, I would.
It's going to be weird.
There's rumor that there's going to be 2 pretty equal divisions in Class A, and then a smaller division of, we'll say, 12 teams that are at the lower end of Class A that would be playing at teams of the like competitiveness. So I don't know if that's the way it's going to play out, but if it does, I would think that bottom tier of 12, maybe 1 or 2 would get playoff spots.
The question now becomes, how are you going to rank that?
I don't know.
I think that's the issue that's going to become, because normally now it's just by points, and that's relatively easy.
Yeah.
But now it's like, well, if you're going to do that 3 district thing,
yeah,
But if it's like top 2 guaranteed, okay, that makes sense. But we'll skip that. Now let's get into our Owls Lock and Safe keys to, yes, the second half, securing North Platte and the surrounding areas for over 50 years. North Platte, again, it's 21-0, but as we said, give up those 2 big plays, it's 7-0.
Yeah.
Again, that's high side 50-50, but
100 of their 201 total yards were on those 2 plays. Take away those, that total yards for the first half would
cut
be
in half, 100.
Yeah, 100 to 61. 100 for them, 61 for North Platte.
Great, pretty good.
So, yeah, no more stubbing your toe, dogs. Don't let those big plays happen again.
And I think, and again, they did come out pretty strong in the second half last week against Lincoln Northeast. I mean, Lincoln Northeast went on a 21-0 run essentially in that second quarter to really close out, really get them went to back in their hand. Dogs then answered after halftime really impressively. So for me on the offensive side, for my key is, yes, still stick to what you're best known for, but don't let those mistakes that kind of, seeped into the game, into the first half, seep into the second half.
Yep.
Don't keep kicking yourself in the shin when it comes to your mistakes, not penalties, not any turnovers, but just a little bit of some sloppy play.
Keep ground and pound, just run the clock, get a score, and just trying to eliminate those big plays on defense.
And there's my defensive key. Just eliminate the big plays. I'm fine if they drive down the field on you, like if they do dink-dunk, 5-6 yards.
Yeah.
I'm fine with that. Just don't let, Evan Davis, don't let those three crucial running backs for Columbus just run all over you with, Davies, Eisenman, and Wojtkowski. And they really haven't. It's just been those big plays that have been the Achilles heel so far for North Platte.
Yeah. Well, it all started with the big run by is it Daniels?
Yes, Daniels. Sorry, I didn't ask that.
Evan
Daniels.
Daniels.
Sorry.
Where it was kind of
looked good.
Yeah, we turned him back to the inside. He just found that crease, and with his speed, he was gone. Then the next big play was set up by the fake to that same jet sweep or reverse action. The defensive back kind of got caught looking in the backfield, and his guy got behind him, and they threw a nice deep ball for a touchdown. So, just know your reads, do your job, and I think you'll be fine. Let's try and hold them scoreless here in the second half.
I think they have to. I hate to say they have to because you don't want to put that much pressure, but I really believe they need to score. North Platte does on their opening drive. Not as more than just a stay in the game type of thing, but just more as a mentally keep themselves in check with this ball game. As here comes the kick from Carter Still. It's a short one that's going to be picked up at around the 20-yard line on the far side, as that's going to be
good coverage.
Broden Robinson who will be receiving that kick. That is not D'Angelo Mata who normally kick off. It's Carter Still who kicked off for North Platte. And I believe the first man there was
Stifler was the first one to make contact.
Connor Stifler and Ian Haremza were in the vicinity of that play, but interesting. Carter Still kicking off, really good kick. I'd have to say for Carter Still. So now we'll see Connor Williams again, as well as Michael Wojtkowski in that shotgun formation. In that trips wide receiver, double stack wide receiver to both sides. In motion comes Daniels. It's going to be actually Carter Williams who will take it up himself, and Connor Williams still turning the legs, and he might get enough in there, and he is going to get enough for the first down. 10-yard carry for Connor Williams to lead off this opening play, or opening half of the second for Columbus. 1st and 10 now at the Discoverer 42-yard line. 11:40 left to go on our State Farm agent Bobby Hull's scoreboard.
So I'm looking at the defensive backs, and it looks like Stifler, Haremza, Hanneborg, and Euling, I think, is back at safety.
Oh, so Vanalik.
Vanalik is on the sideline.
Okay.
Getting a drink here by the looks like he's a little gimpy.
Daniel's now going to, Williams going to hand it up the middle for Wojtkowski, and Ian Haremza going to bring down Wojtkowski, a 12-yard pickup. For Michael Wojtkowski, Daniels was in motion on that jet sweep, and they handed off to Wojtkowski this time, and big 10-yard pickup. Yep, it is Sam Euling who is playing the deep safety for North Platte. As you said, Vanalik kind of a little gimpy here on the sideline.
Hopefully it's nothing serious.
And to confirm your earlier suspicions, Harper Whitney is playing Cade Freeze's number 5.
Yep.
So good to see.
Yeah, glad to see him back.
Because, of course, it felt bad last year that he got injured during the Benson game, which, as we all know, next week they forfeited their season. We lost Brady Hanneborg and Whitney. As another handoff to Wojtkowski off the left side, he breaks through 2 tackles and falls forward just 4 yards shy of a first down.
Good tackle by Connor Stifler, but
Dogs once again doing a good job of staying home and not overextending on that fake jet sweep to Daniels, but it's going to come at some point.
Yeah. Wojtkowski, good job of keeping his legs moving that time, and Stifler, nice job wrapping up, but it was a gain of 7.
Now that offset eye in the shotgun formation as they'll hand off to Daniels off the right side. Daniels into the open field. He breaks through 1 tackle. Evan Daniels, ball's on the floor, and it's picked up by North Platte. No, please don't tell me that Daniels is down. I will be irate if they call Evan Daniels down, but a fumble, the first fumble today for Columbus. And North Platte takes over. Evan Daniels getting a little too sloppy with that carry, and it's a big turnover for the Discoverers.
One juke too many.
Yep, as you said, he sometimes just get a little too cute and careless with it, and that's a great example right there. And now guess what, Mr. Smeltzer? Dogs take over at their own 39-yard line, trailing 21-0 with 10:07 left to go on our State Farm agent Bobby Hull's scoreboard. We meet you where you're at and help you get to where you want to be. It is Keegan Klaus at the power back position as the handoff to Klaus off the right side. Going to run into a sea of white jerseys, keep the legs turning. Keegan Klaus, and they might have just given him 3 yards, Keegan Klaus, to make it 2nd and 7. The man in motion, Tice Rathburn, number 12.
Yeah.
We saw a couple of young Bulldogs in at that speed back position during pregame warm-ups, in Rathburn, the guy who is now in to the near side, to the far side, it is Ty Hanneborg. 2nd and 7, 9:43 left to go on our State Farm agent Bobby Hull's scoreboard in the third quarter. Rathburn in motion. Now the handoff up goes Carter Still keeps it himself, actually, and fall forward to the 25. They might call him a yard short of that 25-yard line, so another strong pickup for Carter Still, and got to say, Carter Still tonight looking much better when it comes to running in between the guards. I mean, that was a
very decisive that time.
And that's exactly, that's what made Caden Johnson so strong last year, was that he knew, very decisive when he was going into the guards for runs. And, it took Carter Still a little while to get to that point, but tonight, really flexing. The handoff, Klaus off the right side. Boy, he is immediately met by none other than Bryce Brown, who has just been an absolute menace for North Platte when he is on the field. Klaus got a 1-yard gain. All right, Smeltzer, it's 4th and 1. I think you have to go for it again.
If there's nobody lined up on the center, I'd go quarterback sneak. But number 50,
it looks like
where's
they
he going
are.
to go?
It's 50 and 57.
Oh, boy. Wholesale changes here. Looks like punt formation.
Oh, boy, I understand the appeal to punt, but I really think you should go for it. It's 4th and 1. It's not like it was 4th or 3 or 4th or 2.
No, last punt was a 50-yarder, though, so maybe that plays into the decision.
That's true, and you are deep inside your own territory as Columbus once again showing heavy pressure on the punt.
Yeah, I was watching the play clock there, and it's a delayed game.
Unfortunately will get rid of the chances of a good North Platte, a play at least in this time about, as that delayed game will push the Dogs back a couple of yards. 4th and 1, 8:03 left to go on our State Farm agent Bobby Hull's scoreboard. A 5-yard pushback to make it 4th and 6. But Columbus, they are looking to show a whole lot of pressure here on this punt, as Carter Still, no pun intended, still back to punt. Much better receive, and a very, very beautiful punt as Evan Daniels picked it up at around the 42-yard line in his own territory. Daniels breaking through one tackle. Evan Daniels spun out of bounds on the near side. The first Bulldog there, Trevor Jorgensen, as
26-yard return.
Discoverers get a good return from Evan Daniels. But, hey, Carter Still, great. That's a good punt. That's twice today that Carter Still has had some good punts.
21, so that was 29.
All the way to the 42.
37-yard punt.
Pretty good comparatively. He had as you said, a 50 and then a 37 and then a 25.
25 at the beginning, yeah.
Move that 25 out of the way. And
so there's a flag on the play. And
oh, good. I didn't even see that. But
they're picking it up at the 47 of the Dogs, so this is going to march off 10 more.
So a block in the back, it looks like, by Columbus. So they'll start now at their own 43-yard line, leading 21-0. They had a turnover to start their first possession out of halftime. Can the Dogs make it 2 for 2 in terms of turnovers, as Carter Eisenman is now right to the right of Connor Williams? The handoff to Eisenman. He is immediately tripped up front. That is Owen Shea. Trips up Eisenman, and
he's in there like a shot. Yeah,
what a season Owen Shea has been having at middle linebacker.
Yeah, nice job,
we talk about the multitude of North Platte linebackers over the year, Genatone, as well as Trey Burke, and now Owen Shea. Just their ability to shoot up into a hole and make a big tackle has just been so impressive. 2nd and 8 is now a read option as once again, Owen Shea from behind brings down Connor Williams. It's a loss of 2. It's 3rd down and 10. Back-to-back big plays.
And they were running away
Shea.
from him that time, too. So showed some speed that time to drag him down from behind.
And you want to talk about a guy who's been in the weight room over the offseason. Owen Shea is that guy. He's gotten bigger, he's gotten stronger, and most importantly, he's also gotten faster. I've just been so impressed with Owen Shea this season, and I'm excited to continue to see him into his senior season next year.
And he's aggressive. He plays with some attitude.
Trips bunch to the near side. It's going to be a pass play. Williams stepping back, looking to throw. It's a screen to the opposite side. Now driving up the field with some speed into the open field. Carter Eisenman. And, oh, man, Connor Eisenman picks up a big gain. It looks like maybe 15 yards for Columbus. Oh, man, it was looking so good for the Bulldogs, and then they give up a 15-yard play to Eisenman on the running back screen, and it's 1st and 10.
Shea over there to trip him up, but he stumbled forward for like another 5 or 6 yards to get the first down. But
1st and 10 of the Bulldogs, 41 with 6:20 left to go in this third quarter. 4 wide receivers in the slot. Evan Daniels on the far side. Williams now look towards the sideline with 9 seconds left to go as I drop my papers. As Williams stepping back. Quick throw to the near side. It's going to go in and out of the hands of Keegan Wemhoff, and that's an incomplete pass. 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, it's a good throw, just right through the hands of Wemhoff that time. So 2nd down, 10 yards to go. Paxton's picking up stuff off the floor.
Just a little clumsy sometimes when it comes to my papers. I'm very handsy, so I just kind of move things around and drop it. But 2nd and 10 for Connor Williams in the shotgun with Eisenman to his right. In motion comes Daniels. They'll once again hand it off to Eisenman on that fake little handoff, and a spinning Eisenman will keep the legs going. Oh, merciful heavens. Another 15-yard pickup. The Dogs were in perfect position to stop Carter Eisenman from making any progression forward. He just broke through so many different tackles, and it's a 1st down at the Bulldogs' 24-yard line for Columbus's offense.
Yeah, spinning and kept his legs moving, and,
Dogs were in good position.
About 8 or 9 of those yards were all on Eisenman. But again, I think the Dogs are slowed a little bit when they do that little fake jet sweep with Daniels. And
now that's like 4 separate times they've run the same play the same way, and they've all picked up more than 10 yards. Daniels in motion. Once again, they'll go right back to it, and Eisenman swallowed up by a sea of black. Blake Tonkinson there to initially make the tackle, as subbing in pretty late here, Trevor Jorgensen in for Tonkinson. So Jorgensen seeing some more extended time. 2nd and 6 for North Platte's offense. 5 minutes left to go in this third quarter in what has so far been the fastest game of my life. First quarter was 52 minutes, maybe even 48 minutes, and so far we're just breezing through the third. As Columbus taking their sweet time with the play. Getting it in, Williams now with 10 seconds on the play clock in that shotgun with Eisenman to his right. In motion comes Daniels. They'll keep it up the middle with Connor Williams. Williams sneaking his way through the sea of black jerseys. It's a 1st down. Probably 6 yards will give him the fair count on that. 1st and 10. Now at the Bulldogs 15-yard line. So for the 2nd time today, Columbus is in the red zone.
In most of these plays, you've got Daniels lining up on the left side, comes around to the right, and then they run to the left. So they're kind of a left-handed team here, at least in the second half.
Yeah, well, they've been getting some great success off of those runs to the left side. Pistol formation for Connor Williams. Again, that dual set of running backs.
Wouldn't be surprised to see Daniels get the ball here eventually.
Well, they hand it off to Eisenman off the left side. There's Jake Kincaid. Finally, they had him lined up in the perfect position, and guess what? Jake Kincaid making an immediate presence, and now he's going to come hobbling off, it looks like. Calling, I think, for an injury time. His right hand, he's not really, it's pretty gimpy walking off, not really not really moving his right hand much. Might be a shoulder, in some serious pain as Jake Kincaid comes off the field. That's not a good sign. Maybe a popped out shoulder maybe. If I had to early guess, just the way he's holding his arm pretty limp. So Jake Kincaid checks out. Didn't see who checked in for Kincaid. Maybe Will Rathjen. Pistol once again, as now they're going to hand it off the other way to Rozakov. And Owen Shea once more making the play happen defensively. Busting up the middle, stopping the run from Omar Rozakov. A big loss for Columbus.
Have yourself a night, Owen Shea.
And this really is the second week of the Owen Shea come-out party, as he has just been unstoppable defensively for North Platte. Again, with Trayton Burke being injured for the last couple of weeks, Shea really has filled that hole in respectively.
In the first quarter, he had 7 carries for 28 yards, so curious to see if maybe he'll run the ball again in the second half.
We'll see, but they've been going to Keegan Klaus more. Here we go, 4 wide receivers, 3 to the near side, with in the slot being Evan Daniels. Williams rolling to his right, looking to throw. Throwing to an open man at around the 7-yard line. Another comeback from Keegan Wemhoff that, unfortunately for Ty Hanneborg, just a little bit behind the play, and that's a first down and then some for the Discoverers. 1st and 10 at the Bulldogs.
No, they're short because they had that sack.
Oh, yeah, so sorry. I forgot about that.
Or that tackle for a loss.
Yeah, that big tackle for a loss. So it's 4th down and 3. I completely forgot about that, but big substitution. I think we're going to go back to that Wildcat formation with Michael Wojtkowski as Williams is checked out. So Wojtkowski last time got enough yards on the Wildcat. Now he is all set for that Wildcat play once again. 3 yards to go. 4th and 3. Wojtkowski off the left side. He will get enough for the first down and make it 1st and goal at the 3.
Is that Sam Ewing?
I believe that might be Trevor Jorgensen, the first to pop up from the pile. So young Jorgensen getting some good playing time. So at the 3-yard line now for Columbus. 1st down and goal to go. As some substitutions, Tonkinson will check out. Checking in for him, Jacob Martinez. As back in comes Connor Williams. Shotgun formation, Eisenman to his right. In motion, Daniels. They'll keep it to Williams. Williams got so close. But the big front line of the Bulldogs defense says no. First on the scene for North Platte, Jacob Martinez, who just subbed in. And it's 2nd down and 1 yard to go for North Platte High School. On that right, just a little bit off the right hash. 1:37 left to go in the 3rd quarter, 21-0. 2nd and 1 for the Discoverers offense on their second possession of the 3rd quarter after fumbling on their first drive from Evan Daniels, and timeout looks to be called by the Discoverers. They were really struggling to get things set up. Dogs bending but not breaking, but still having some troubles on those quick comeback routes from somebody at the cornerback position. What you looking at, Smeltzer? You see something? I just update. I haven't seen what's going on with Jake Kincaid. Is he back off the table? Good to go. That's good at least. 21-0. Timeouts brought to you in part by Kevin McGann and the Fortify Group. Check out Kevin McGann at his location, 621 South Dewey, Suite B, as well as our other sponsors for today's game. Justin Thompson Agency with American Family Insurance. With the ever-changing industry standard, as Mr. Smeltzer would know, it's more for real estate as well, but insurance also an ever-changing pool of change. I bet you guys have some classes out there for insurance agents that might come up potentially soon. I don't know if you can confirm that.
We haven't for a while.
Okay. But it's happened.
As a former insurance agent, do a lot of it online.
But with that,
just easier that way.
That's true. But with that ever-changing industry, they pride themselves on those top-notch customer service.
Gotta keep up to date.
Justin Thompson Agency. Check them out today. Farm Ranch Auto, Home, and Life. 1:22 left to go. 2nd and goal at the 1-yard line. Still in this very heavy-set pistol formation. Eisenman, is going to maybe be stopped on the second effort. He's good. Ty Hanneborg, came rocketing off the left side. Initially hit Eisenman, but he kept the legs turning, and it's a touchdown for Carter Eisenman, and it's 27-0 28-0 on our State Farm agent Bobby Hull's scoreboard. Oh, so close. The Bulldogs almost made a big play. As here comes Alexander Ogle kicking. High snap. Good receive by Williams, and it's placed down perfectly. 28-0. I mean, so close.
Oh, Eisenman's a strong kid. He got hit at the line of scrimmage
or
behind the line of scrimmage, and he
still kept going. And that was
forward for 2 yards.
And that was a quick, Ty Handelborg, who got a brilliant jump off the left side, but unfortunately just could not hold on to Eisenman, and it's a 1 yard touchdown run, and it's 28-0 on our State Farm agent Bobby Hull's scoreboard. Next week, Omaha Benson on the schedule, and then Lincoln Southeast at home, who are 2-3, not the best season for the Knights. And then after that, the dreaded Thursday night football game against Millard South.
Oof.
Of course, we all know Millard South and the juggernaut that they have become in Class A. Last year of Jet Tamala.
You see Jet Tamala's game the other night, 360 yards and 5 touchdowns.
Broke an NSAA record, I believe.
His 100th career touchdown.
He's just insane.
And that's why he's going to Alabama.
Which is also insane to say as well.
Yeah.
Because I don't think in the history of North Platte football, I don't think anyone's committed to
I don't think so.
Alabama, especially at the quarterback position.
Yeah.
When's the last time, if you remember, a Nebraska quarterback going to a place as the kick very high? I'll answer that question after this kickoff to Ty Handelborg at the 10-yard line. Handelborg now going to try to bounce it to the near side, trying to break the corner. He does so. Ty Handelborg going to try to cut back and stutter his way out of bounds. And he might get to the 30. We'll see where they spot him, maybe the 27. But Ty Handelborg sure did a lot to get to the 27, but probably the best field position the Dogs have seen all night tonight on a kickoff, and now they'll begin their second possession out of the half. But when's the last time you've seen a quarterback from Nebraska go somewhere not as a walk-on? Because Rizak went to, I believe, North Dakota. Or not Dakota.
Well,
Notre Dame is a walk-on.
Is Easton Stick still in the NFL? Because he went to South Dakota State.
I think he went to
on scholarship, but I think he's still in the NFL.
That is true, but that's a
but that's not. I know.
FCS.
We're talking Power 5 schools. Boy, I can't think of anybody.
In motion, Rathburn. The pitch out to Rathburn. Beautiful pitch. Rathburn into the open field. He's driving upfield, and he falls forward after a 14-yard pickup there. How about Tice Rathburn? Beautiful pitch from Carter Still, and Rathburn makes the Discoverers defense pay.
That's some nice execution. He had a nice block on the edge. Nice pitch, which sometimes those have been hard to come by, and good, hard running, decisive, cut right up the field.
I believe first carry for the sophomore Tice Rathburn this whole season, and it's a big 13-yard pickup for the sophomore, and the Dogs get a first down. Now at their own 41-yard line. Still going to keep it himself off the right side. Carter Still runs immediately into a white jersey off the initial jump. I believe the recipient of that tackle, Aiden Morgan, so maybe a 1-yard pickup for Carter Still to make it 2nd and 9. 28-0 with 20 seconds left to go in this third quarter. 2 wide receivers to the near side. Wouldn't be shocked if we see a pitch to, I believe, Connor Stifler, who is the speed back on the far side. 10 seconds left to go before the end, the third quarter. The pitch now out to Connor Stifler. Stifler has a blocker up ahead. Cuts upfield. Connor Stifler will
Rathburn
fall
with a nice block.
close to the 50-yard line. How about Tice Rathburn once again? Making a huge, Rathburn, making a big block, and that's the end of this third quarter. But how about Tice Rathburn making his name known in this third quarter? The Dogs making a 3rd and 2, and of course we come out of this little break really impressed with how things have gone so far in this second drive in particular.
Yeah, in this last series, Grayson Couch was playing right tackle as Jake Kincaid was on the sideline. Jake's back into the game now. But
okay, good.
Yeah,
of course, had that little bit of a shoulder, we think shoulder injury.
Something with an arm, but yeah, he's back out there now. But while he was resting, Grayson Couch was out there playing. I think it was right tackle, and they had Tonk in at right guard.
I think he's got his arm completely wrapped up from what I can see.
Yeah.
From Kincaid. So he's still back out there. Good to see. But how about Tice Rathburn? Sophomore getting his real first actual game day experience today and made 2 big plays back-to-back succession. for the sophomore.
He did, yeah. That's make your presence known.
And the big one for me is that block, because what does North Platte love to ask from their wide receivers? Make blocks.
Yes.
And those were some good back-to-back blocks.
Good patience by Connor Stifler to let Tice get that block. And here we go, dogs. Let's march it down.
2 for the Bulldogs at their own 49-yard line. Probably off to Keegan Klaus off the left side. There goes Keegan Klaus, tripped up, but he falls forward for a first down. There you go, Keegan Klaus, and that's now back-to-back first downs for the Dogs offense. And for the first time in this second half, Mr. Smeltzer, they are into enemy territory at the Discoverers' 48-yard line.
Keep it going.
11:50 left to go in this fourth quarter. It'll be huge if they can get a touchdown, North Platte. As switching sides, Stifler and Rathbun. In motion comes Connor Stifler. Pitch out to Stifler. He's able to receive it. Now going to try to cut back upfield. He does so successfully into a sea of white jerseys. All that effort for maybe 3 yards if the spot is favorable to make it 2nd and 7. Again, a little bit of a scary pitch way out in front of Stifler. Use that one hand to grab it.
That's a baseball player in him.
It's shot out to Stifler. Defense, man, he's really picked it up in baseball, and it's really paying off here in football this season. 2nd and 7 now. 11:10 left to go. 2 wide receivers. Rathbun was in motion. Still going to step back. Has a free rusher. Into the pocket he goes. As Carter still, man, he might have lost a yard. Immediate. There was nobody on the near side stopping Jason Delano from getting almost immediately into the backfield.
He wanted to throw, but yeah, there were somebody greeting him in the backfield right away.
3rd and 8. Fortunately, Jake Kincaid might have missed the block on Delano, and it's 3rd and 8 with 10:42 left to go. The dreaded position the Dogs don't like to see. Rathbun's going to be switching sides to the near side. 2 wide receivers, Euling and Altig, set to block as Columbus looks to be getting ready for maybe seeing a pitch play. Still has Rathbun in motion. The pitch out to Rathbun. Again, a good block. Stifler now in front of him. Rathbun going to keep running, and he is spun down relatively close to the first down marker. They'll stop him at the 42, and oh boy, Smeltzer, we've been at this position already, and the Dogs are going for it. Didn't even hesitate. They're going for it. 4th and 4, a very long 4th down. So far, 0 for 2 today. They didn't get it on a 4th and 3 or a 4th and 2. How about a 4th and 4?
Hard count gets you the first down.
Motion comes Rathbun. Almost got again on the far side. Sedlak is still with 24 seconds, still plenty of time on the play clock to get a play set.
Do it again.
Do it again, then call a timeout, you think maybe?
Yeah. You got him flinching last time. Let's see if we can get him to.
Still under center. Oh, a little bit of confusion as Carter's still going to take it himself. Still might get enough for the first down. He's into the open field at the 30, 25, spinning, 15. He's going to go all the way to the 10. Carter still. What a run by Carter Still. It looked like it was going to be a broken play for the Bulldogs. And Carter Still with a big 30-yard gain. Wow. Now at the Discoverers' 10-yard line. First time tonight the Dogs are in the red zone. How about Carter Still?
Strong, nice spin move. Tried to stiff arm there at the late. He is a strong kid. He's tough to bring down.
Now can the Dogs finally execute off the right side. Keegan Klaus keeping the legs turning and will fall forward maybe to the 6-yard line. 2nd down and 4 to go for North Platte's offense. How about Carter Still? Almost looked like a broken play off the rip, and he made some lemons. He made some lemonade with that lemon. 2nd and 6 at the Bulldogs, at the Discoverers 6-yard line, 8:40. In motion. Still going to now step up in the pocket. Carter Still capitalizes on a fantastic drive from the sophomore. It's a North Platte touchdown. Carter Still. Give it up for the sophomore, man.
I like that. Just kind
really
of a little quarterback draw. It looked like he's going to pass and turned it upfield. And nice block on the left side. I don't know who that end was that did that, but nice job.
Got to say, that was Carter Still's drive all through and through. A 30-yard run for Carter Still to set up the Dogs inside their 10. As now the plant kick from Carter Still is no good as it didn't go anywhere, but D'Angelo Mata not on the field again to kick.
Yeah, I don't even see him on the sideline.
Yeah, you're right. No, I see, I see him right there. Yeah.
Okay.
Interesting. So D'Angelo Mata not kicking as Carter still went for the field goal and hit it right into the back of his own man off the snap. But 28-6, Bulldogs get a touchdown on our State Farm agent Bobby Hull scoreboard. We meet you where you're at and help you get to where you want to be. That was the Carter Still drive through and through.
Yeah. Yep. Nice job, Carter. Onside here, or do you?
I think you just got to kick it. I think you're a little far behind, and the defense, unfortunately, so far has not been able to find a way to stop Columbus, barring that turnover to start the second half. So I think you just kick it deep, and then pin them somewhere deep in their territory, and then pray that that's good enough. Now, I'm interested to see who is still kicking for the Dogs, because I didn't really think D'Angelo Mata was doing a horrible job.
No, I thought maybe he wasn't even here, but we did see him on the sideline.
Oh, now they're going to point Carter Still stepping out of the huddle. And, yep, it is going to be Carter Still who will still be kicking for North Platte.
You've got some starters out there on the kickoff team.
You know what?
Yeah, look at that.
I think they're doing this very heavy set to the far side for the Dogs. I think you're right, Smelter. I think we're potentially trying an onside kick. Well, we say that, and then coming to this side is Connor Stifler.
Well, I think, yeah.
But still, we could see an onside attempt from North Platte.
And now
Columbus is
starting
adjusting,
to move up.
yeah. There's that onside kick, high bounce, and it's picked up by the Dogs at the 30-yard line.
You can't advance
my gosh, but that was picked up by Brecken Corco. Jeff Smeltzer for the first time this season. North Platte picks up an onside kick.
That was perfectly kicked. It caught the hop right between.
Oh, no. Wait, I see a lot of boos coming on.
They're saying it didn't go 10 yards?
No, North Platte's offense is out there. Whew.
I think they're booing because they
didn't let it go further.
I think the student section didn't understand you could not advance
off of the onside. But how about Brecken Corco picking up the onside kick, and Jeff Smeltzer, the Dogs now take over at the Discoverer 44-yard line. Two wide receivers here to the near side, very far. Three wide receivers now spaced out for the Dogs offense.
Spread them out, run up the middle.
As Keegan Klaus, the man in the backfield. Still, the wide receiver screen to Ty Handelborg. That's going to be a fumble. Ball's open on the floor, and it's picked up by Bryce Brown and the Discoverers.
Considered a lateral.
And that is how, as Coach Altig waving that to be incomplete, but that's how that drive unfortunately comes to an end, as Coach Altig still screaming at the officials to have a conversation with them. I don't know. It looked like it might have been either pretty much on the line or forward. I mean, it was pretty close. We'll have to look at it again if there's a replay on the big board, but it was mighty close. It did not look like it was guaranteed behind the back.
I'm thinking it was lateral,
but still, after what had been a triumphant moment for the Bulldogs, it all comes crumbling apart. First turnover today, and now the Discoverers take over at the Bulldogs 46. Williams in the shotgun to Wojciechowski on the left side. He now will try to barrel his way through Ian Haremza, but good tackle by Haremza, and Wojciechowski will maybe pick up 3 yards to make it 2nd and 7. Oh, man, that's just so heartbreaking.
Yeah.
After a beautiful onside kick from Carter Still, Brecken Corco picking it up. Then the first play, that's how it all comes apart. That's what we talked about in our Owls Lock and Save keys to the game. Got to avoid those simple, silly mistakes. And yet again, when the time mattered, the Dogs make a mistake. 7:48 left to go here on our State Farm agent Bobby Hull scoreboard. Williams in the shotgun to Wojciechowski off the left side again. He'll go up the middle, right into the hands of Reese Perry, and he'll get close to the first down for Michael Wojciechowski, and it's short a yard, 3rd and 1. As Dogs might have to call a timeout, as Columbus was quickly hurrying the offense up as North Platte was trying to make substitutions.
Trying to do some line substitutions.
This isn't like football where you can make a substitution and they'll let you make that substitution. So timeout called, and as always, our timeouts are brought to you in part by Kevin McGann in the Fortify Group. Check out Kevin McGann in the Fortify Group at his location, 621 South Dewey, Suite B, as well as Hands of Heartland. Hands of Heartland is offering support and services for those with developmental disabilities in Nebraska since 1998, and they're bringing those services to the North Platte area. Ugh.
Yeah.
Of course, that last possession did not end the way that it wanted to, but hats off to the Dogs coming in that second possession they had, driving it down the field and showing Columbus they still have to play their best brand of football.
I like the onside kick call. Worked well. And really that call, you're trying to get Ty Hanneborg out in space. I don't disagree with that. Just kind of got him turned around. That's a tough reception to make when you're basically running away from the ball and you have to turn around and locate it and
spin back and then put your eyes down the field. There's a lot you got to process, and unfortunately just not a perfectly placed ball, and then on top of that, not a perfectly caught football. 3rd and 1, Wildcat for Michael Wojtkowski. He'll take it up the middle, and he looks like he'll have plenty, I say plenty, into the open field before he is tackled by Ian Haremza. Big pickup for Michael Wojtkowski, and that's enough for the first down. Jeff Smeltzer.
I've got that for a 13-yard gain for
Wojtkowski.
And
7:17 left to go. Now at the Bulldogs' 22-yard line, 28-6 on our State Farm agent Bobby Hull scoreboard. As once again, Columbus and the Discoverers just driving down the field on this North Platte defense. Shotgun for Williams. Hands it off to Wojtkowski, who goes up the middle, breaking a tackle from Reese Perry. Wojtkowski keeping the legs turning, and he'll just step within the 10-yard mark at the 8-yard line. 1st and goal for Columbus at the Bulldogs' 8 for Wojtkowski, who is just, again, back-to-back runs up literally the heart of the defense.
Yeah, and if I was Columbus, I wouldn't do anything different than that right there. He's a tough kid.
He is the more powerful, quote-unquote, back between Daniels and Eisenman, who's been, again, a thorn in the side for North Platte's defense for now 3 separate seasons. Now in his senior year for Columbus. Shotgun formation once again to the right, Wojtkowski. And they'll hand it off to Wojtkowski. He will be immediately received by Jake Kincaid, as well, I believe, as Owen Shea also in the vicinity. Oh, that's actually Blake Tonkinson and Owen Shea who were there to stop Wojtkowski. But with 6:09 left to go, 2-yard pickup making it, actually a 1-yard pickup making it 2nd and 7 at the Bulldogs' 7-yard line. 28-6 on our State Farm agent Bobby Hull's scoreboard.
Great crowd here tonight.
For Change Wars nights.
Free admission.
So
huge crowd.
A great crowd tonight. And honestly, every home game so far this season has been a really good crowd. And that's what you just love. No matter what the score is or how the team's record is, so many people show up. Daniels off the right side, but it's Reese Perry there to make an open field tackle. Bright purple cleats, well, maybe ankle, wraps, but Reese Perry busts through the gut of the offensive line, and he tackles Evan Daniels for a loss of 2 yards to make it 3rd and 9. And again, all half, they had been teasing Evan Daniels to get that carry.
Yep.
First time he get it, Reese Perry identified it, and he made Daniels pay. As they are eating away as much clock as they can. 5:04 now left to go in this 4th quarter. 10 seconds left to go on the play clock. They might have to call it time. I think they're going to call a timeout. Yeah, they are going to call a timeout as the offensive staff for Columbus just cannot get the play in on time.
Third and goal. So they
3rd and goal at the 9. Wouldn't be surprised if we see a pass. How many? They've only thrown, especially in this half, I think they've only thrown 1 pass this entire half.
2 for 3 the second half.
Oh, sorry, my bad. Giving a little too much credit.
Completion to Wimhoff and a completion to
Lazikov, I'd assume.
Eisenman. Screen.
Yes, on that screen. Yes. So 3rd and goal at the 9-yard line. Another timeout on the field by Columbus. Our timeouts are brought to you in part by Kevin McGann in the Fortified Group. His location is on the one-ways, 621 South Dewey, Suite B. He's been there for 3.5 years now.
Has he really?
Yeah, which is great because
that means Runs has been there for.
Yeah, they've been there also for around 3.
Because he had to relocate from that.
Yeah, which is funny. So he's been there ever since I came aboard. He was, I think, our very first sponsor that I got was my very first fall sponsor when we cleared everything out and started again in fall. So Kevin McGann and me and him have a close connection, even though I actually shockingly have, I think, yet to meet Kevin McGann in person.
Shout out to Kevin. His older sister Eileen was in my class in high school.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, we both went to St. Pat's, and his older brother Billy was a year ahead of me. So they were a St. Pat's clan.
Oh, look at that.
His dad was a superintendent when I was in school.
House divided. He's sponsoring, of course, North Platte.
He's seen the light.
Atta boy. Yeah. Atta boy. Keep it up, Kevin. So it's going to be 3rd and 9 with 4:49 left to go here in this third quarter. It might be a pass for Connor Williams in that pistol formation. Stepping back. Play action. Going toward the end zone.
Boy.
And he is wide open. That is Omar Razakov, 7-yard touchdown. And once again, that play action pass biting the Bulldogs secondary, and Razakov was wide open. It's 34-6.
He was wide open.
Again, that play action pass has just been biting the Dogs in the rear end all night. And I can already tell what Coach Altig's going to say when he comes up here. We've been ready for it. We practiced it all week on the scouting report. And, they still let it pass.
Saw Sam Euling at the back of the end zone covering somebody who was doing a little crossing route, and that.
Another timeout going to have to be called by Columbus. I think the man in coverage might have been Reese Perry. So timeout by Columbus, 34-6 on our State Farm agent Bobby Hull scoreboard. As they'll get the alignment finally set up properly. They were missing a lineman.
Yeah, they've had enough extra points tonight. You think they would have had that figured out.
Yeah, wrapped up and under control. Late to come on, Jason Delano was the man who is playing on the line, number 10. So here comes the kick from Alexander Ugle to put Columbus up 35-6. As waiting for the snap, beautiful place. The kick is up, and it is good. 35-6 on our State Farm agent Bobby Hull scoreboard. 4:45 left to go for the conclusion of this ball game. And Jeff Smeltzer, how about one last touchdown here for the Bulldogs to at least go off into the sunset with at least some positive energy to take away? Because they clearly really drove down the throat of Columbus, not last drive, but the previous drive. And Shane Patterson now taking some snaps, so we might see a quarterback change.
So I don't know if it's a quarterback change or a center change or both, because it was Callan Knutson that was snapping them to him.
Or is it Alex Jackson, 79?
It was 77, wasn't it?
No, it was 79 right there.
Okay.
He's walking with them. But if we do see a new quarterback in, it's not because Carter Still's not playing well.
No,
it's just in that garbage time.
It's just that time of night where.
And let's give it up to Carter Still tonight. He's still sophomore quarterback coming in. Really didn't see any reps last season because it was who was the quarterback? Was it Yonkers the backup quarterback?
Oh,
that might have been. No, I don't think it was Yonkers.
Douse or Powell?
Oh, it was Douse. Yeah, Douse was the backup quarterback. So, Carter Still didn't really see much varsity action. Had to come in. Won the starting job.
Yeah, because the first three quarterbacks were all seniors.
Yep.
So then it was.
Then it was Douse and Patterson after that.
Yeah.
So give it up to Carter Still tonight. His best game by far, I think, tonight on the ground is a very deep, heavy kick and deep to return. Ty Hannibal will watch it go into the end zone, and the Dogs will start at their 24:45 left to go on our State Farm agent Bobby Hull's scoreboard. And Shane Patterson waltzing his way out onto the field. Harper Whitney also taking offensive snaps.
Okay.
Interesting to see. I'm scared in a sense, of course, for that knee. Of course, recovered from an ACL injury last year. He and Brady Hanneborg both suffered season-ending injuries in that Omaha-Benson game, which, of course, the worst part about it is the week after that they closed their season down against Millard South. But Patterson under center, I still think that's DeAndre Holmes behind Patterson as he'll take it himself up the middle. Shane Patterson goes, but he'll maybe get back at least to the line of scrimmage. There's Bryce Brown again, number 22, really putting his staple on today's game. 2nd and 9, they'll say he got a yard Shane Patterson. So in right now, Reed O'Brien, as well as Harper Whitney, DeAndre Holmes, Isaiah Plunk, and I believe
I think that's Camden Weaver with the yellow shoes.
Yeah, 23. Yeah, 29. Yep, that's 29. The pitch out now to said Camden Weaver. Weaver into the open field. Weaver breaking through a tackle at the 40, at the 45, and is brought down from behind by Bryce Brown. Camden Weaver with a beautiful run.
Yes, sir, Cam.
Probably his biggest gain this season for Camden Weaver.
It's those new shoes, those yellow shoes.
I'm telling you, anybody who has a light-colored shoe does amazing. As now, off the right side, DeAndre Holmes, and he is tackled after maybe a 1 yard. Oh, we'll see. They'll give him a yard. And DeAndre Holmes, his first carry today. With 3:40 left to go here in the rest of this game. Harper Whitney to the near side with Reed O'Brien, both at wide receiver to the near side. Isaiah Plunk at speed back to the far side. Of course, we said DeAndre Holmes at power back, and then Camden Weaver also at speed back to the near side. In motion, Plunk. The pitch out to Isaiah Plunk. Plunk with some blockers. Now we'll try to find an opening, but he'll go nowhere as Leighton Braithwaite stopping Isaiah Plunk after a solid 3-yard pickup for Isaiah Plunk. We'll say a pickup maybe of 3 to make it 3rd and 7 for the Dogs offense here in the fourth quarter. 3 minutes left to go. As to the far side for North Platte goes Liam Bargell. Well,
yep.
Yeah, Liam Bargell as well as Charlie Hunter to the far side. Good to see Bargell out there. As Plunk was in motion. The handoff off the right side. Now DeAndre Holmes up the middle, and he will pick up 3 yards and make it a manageable 3rd down and 4 for DeAndre Holmes, 4th and 4.
Dogs have had 11 ball carriers so far this game.
How you feeling on your space, Mister?
Oh,
Do I need to get you a bigger score sheet?
We do. This is I've had to create 4 additional columns for ball carriers.
4th and 4 as they were trying to get Columbus to jump off sides, but wouldn't be shocked if we see Shane Patterson trying to throw the football. Last time he did throw, it was an interception to end the half last week against Lincoln Northeast. Patterson under center. In motion comes Camden Weaver. The pitch out to Weaver. Weaver going to get a block. Oh, he tries to break a tackle, but this man I'm about to say has just been a thorn this entire night. It's Bryce Brown once again stopping Camden Weaver. Great block from Isaiah Plunk to potentially open something up, but Brown shooting the gap and tackling Camden Weaver. It's a turnover on downs, and here comes Columbus's, I'd assume their second unit on the field right now. Yep, it's CJ Sindelar, number 5, now out to take some reps at quarterback with Trayton Kropratch right behind him.
Trying to pull out some dog numbers. I think there's Ethan Moore and
Charlie Hunter's out there.
Lucas Dawson.
Liam
Bargell.
Liam Bargell out there, all wrapped up in pink with a pink arm sleeve. So Sindelar in the shotgun. Where's that false start? I was going to say somebody jumped. Oh, lucky, because there was somebody who just false started. Leighton Braithwaite false start on the near side, but Columbus gets a timeout out of the way.
Carson Altig out there.
Carson Altig, Camden Weaver, Colton
James
Altig.
Leach.
Reese Perry still out on the field right now for North Platte, as well as, it said James Leach, Liam Bargell. Also waltzing out there, Lake Sellers. Now, unfortunately, won't be seeing Cade Songster as he tore his ACL on Monday, so he's done for the season. And unfortunately, talk about a loss of a guy who was going to play multiple sports this year for the Dogs, basketball and, of course, left field and baseball.
He was starting to see more and more snaps on the football field.
He was really doing a great job on the defensive side, specifically of making big plays on the perimeter. But
good wrestler, good outfielder, pitcher.
Not gonna see him for the rest of the year, and that's that's tough. That's now I think Aaron said that was the 12th player who has torn an ACL that I know of. Of course, you had Kiki, and then you had Lexi Lantis, and now unfortunately you have Kate Songster. Sinclair in the shotgun is going to hand it off now. The crow's patch, and he is smothered up. Is that number 59? That is Carson Altig, the sophomore, first on the scene for North Platte's defense, alongside, as I said,
16?
Lake Sellers.
Lake Sellers.
So 1:38 left to go, but how about that young we always talk about, the Dogs JV squad. There's some real talent, not just last season that are now playing up at the level this year, but still even this year, there's some good talent down there.
The sophomore class is really making a lot of contributions.
Really, at every level, the sophomore class is pretty being talked up in every sport, as Sindelar now the man in motion. He's going to hand it off to Braithwaite. Braithwaite into the open field to the far side. Braithwaite going to break it and take it to the house. Leighton Braithwaite. Touchdown. That is a 54, I think, yard touchdown run from Leighton Braithwaite with 1:07 left to go. He got to the outside and then just took it all the way up the sideline, 41-6. Gosh darn it.
Boy, he has wheels, too. They've got some kids with some good speed.
This team is just so scary with how many speed runners they have. Of course, we always talk about Evan Daniels, who is their, premier speed threat, but Braithwaite's got some speed. Eisenman also has some speed. Roz Cobb, Keegan Wemhall. You just go down the list of the talent they have at speed. As kick is up from Oogle, and it's good on our State Farm agent. Bobby Hull's scoreboard 42-6, and to be honest with you, I'm kind of glad they scored because I want to see another couple of plays from this North Platte second team, essentially, because it is just fun to see in games like these the younger guys, who don't see much action get action. See, Cam DeWeaver you talk about in a limited time, what can you do? It's like at hockey. On the guys are on the fourth line. Don't get much time. What can you do with the time that you are given?
Yep.
Cam DeWeaver and DeAndre Holmes a couple weeks ago showing that when you have the limited time, you can show out. So fun to see. As deep to return for North Platte, that is Tice Rathbun. And I believe also going deep for the Dogs. It will be Bargell. I was going to say that might have been, looked like Lake Sellers was going back there, but Liam Bargell. That's a name I want to see a lot more of in the future.
Is that 4 sophomores back there?
Yep, that's Rathbun, Bargell, Lake Sellers, and I believe
that's DeAndre, I think, over there.
33? Yep, that is DeAndre Holmes.
Yep.
So, there is your 4 sophomores right there, and that's not even counting.
And in front of them is Keegan Klaus, sophomore. And
I think Trevor Jorgensen to the far side as well. Yep, that is Jorgensen way out there. Keegan Klaus at around the 35.
And I don't know who this is close to us on the 35. I can't see.
Oh, right there, I believe
that
might
be
Charlie Hunter. So the youth very far out in the masses here for this kick. Booming kick, and unfortunately for the Dogs, it goes out of bounds. So there's a flag on the play. So that's the first time this season I've actually seen the ball go out of bounds on a kickoff. So Dogs will get some good field position for most certainly will be their last offensive possession today with 1:07 left to go in the fourth quarter. Any noticeable new names out there that you see? I mean, I see Reed O'Brien out there, Kalen Knutson, as well as Dustin Weeder, number 72, I think is out. Yep, Dustin Weeder's out there on the offensive line, as well as Alex Jackson. Camden Weaver is in at speed back. Shane Patterson still the quarterback. For the Dogs, 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line as, we're having a lengthy conversation.
Yeah, I don't know why the ball's at the 20. If it's out of bounds,
it
went out of the 35?
Yes, it should be a penalty. It's a penalty, so now we're going to have an official's timeout, and now they are going to move the ball up. So I was going to say the same thing. I was like, wow, we're really starting in a weird position here. It should have been a penalty because it went out of bounds.
Yeah, I just wasn't even paying attention. I just assumed
Well, now there's. Oh, we're going to re-kick it? Oh, my gosh, they're going to re-kick it.
Did we decline it?
I think we did. Yep.
Or no, they're going to do it. Oh, this is bizarre.
Okay, I think they're all in just the wrong position because now they're moving them back to the 35.
Now it's at the 35.
Okay, I was going to say, it looked like where everybody was running on Columbus's side was to the...
Both teams had kick teams out there. We had a return team and an offense.
Look, there goes the kick team.
They had their kick team and their defense out there. Okay.
Oh, boy. And this is what you sometimes get with, unfortunately, the younger guys on the field. So, 1st and 10 now at the Bulldogs' 35-yard line. Patterson under center. As in motion was Camden Weaver. Up the middle to the pitch it actually, correction. Now to the near side. I believe that's Isaiah Plunk. Plunk going to be dragged down at around around the first down marker. He might have gotten enough. He will get enough, 11 yards. I believe that's Cameron Steiner on the tackle for the Discoverers. Dogs in a hurry-up offense with 47 seconds left to go. 2 wide receivers to the far side being O'Brien as well as Harper Whitney. Bright green shoes for Camden Weaver as Patterson stepping back. He's going down the center of the field. Gets up and it's caught by Harper Whitney. Can we call it timeout, Coach Altig, please? With 27 seconds, call it timeout. They won't do it. They're going to hurry the offense up. 20 seconds, no time. We're still not calling it timeout. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
We have one timeout left. 15 seconds for Patterson. Weaver was in motion. Fake handoff. Patterson going to keep it himself. Shane Patterson needs to get out of bounds. He won't. Call it timeout, please. With 4 seconds, 3 seconds, 2 seconds, and we're just going to let the clock run out. Oh, we had one timeout left. No. Oh. And that's unfortunately how this game will come to an end. Great pickup, a great throw from Patterson to Harper Whitney.
Was. Nice catch. He had to get up in the air.
Well, also he had inside leverage on his cornerback and picked it up, but wasn't enough to keep the game alive. And the Dogs will fall now to 0-5 on the season as they fall to Columbus and the Discoverers, 42-6. Again, and maybe I'm too optimistic sometimes, and that, as coaches have told me, that's maybe a little bit of a death of me. But I really don't think the Dogs played well. Not played terribly. I think that's what I want to say.
Okay.
They didn't play terribly. The score may look, again, the score I think speaks a little more volumes than it actually was. 42-6. I wholeheartedly believe this Dogs team yet again played another better week of football than previously have stated. Not as good as last week, I would think, but also you're taking a couple of steps forward with the opponent you're facing in Columbus compared to Lincoln Northeast. Which, again, no offense to Lincoln Northeast, but at the time they played North Platte, the best team they played was Benson. So
yeah, their toughest part of their schedule is coming up, Northeast. And
so is ours.
Yeah.
If you're talking, well, to be honest with you, not really. It's Millard South is the only opponent I can sit there with confidence and say is a tough team. Lincoln Southeast is not good this year. They're 2-3. Lincoln High, again, they're in the same boat as
smoke and mirrors are usually not that good.
That's like Northeast where they just is it smoke and mirrors that they're just playing teams like Bryan and Benson and Omaha North and all these other schools. But the Dogs unfortunately fall to 0-5. They fall 42-6 on our State Farm agent Bobby Hull scoreboard. And before we hit a break and you do your stats, Meltzer, what'd you think about today's game for the Bulldogs?
Offense again making big progress. Defense, gashed on those big plays. Even that last one was a 54-yard touchdown run by
Braithwaite.
Yeah.
You mark those 3 big plays off. Yeah. And was this a 21-0 game, a 21-6 game at this point?
Yeah, that was 154 yards for 3 touchdowns.
Yeah,
50 yards a touchdown. So that's 21 of the 42 points on big plays like that.
Yeah, so you scrap those off the board, and things are looking much better than the final score. Because again, you look at the final score, and a lot of people, I'm not trying to call people out, but I know they like to look at that final score and be like, "Oh, sweet mercy, that's quite a deficit the Dogs lost to." But honestly, I think they're just so close. It feels like they're like on the verge of really breaking through with something. They just need everything to fall into place. And I think we're going to see that next week against Benson. I think everything is going to come to a head next week against Benson. Granted, Benson is, even though they're 2-2, I still think the worst team in the division. Because North Platte has played tougher teams. Norfolk, who are really good, who beat the brakes out of Northeast, was it, yesterday?
Yes.
So they beat the brakes out of them. Columbus, really good as well. Who else North Platte played? Lincoln East, top 10 team. Kearney, top 10 team. So North Platte has clearly had the tougher schedule. So I believe next week against Benson, that's where we can circle the Dogs' first victory of the season.
Well, I sure hope so. And then I think they'll get one more after that.
Lincoln
maybe
High.
2.
I think I could maybe see 2. Lincoln Southeast, is not as good as they were last year. Budenbach was just a machine for that squad. And so far, they have not been as impressive. But again, that's a Lincoln team, and they play a much tougher Lincoln out of non-con schedule.
Right. Yep.
But offensively, I think there's a lot of things they can, again, hide tip their cap to and put their hat on in terms of what they did well. Still just need to cut back on their own mental mistakes. Now, only one penalty today.
Yeah. And
one turnover.
One turnover. So I don't think there was mental mistakes. I thought they played pretty clean football.
Just a couple of small things, a couple of bad, maybe a lost assignment here or there, a bad pitch that puts them back in the drive.
And I thought we ran the ball to the perimeter much better than we had all year.
We had, and I think I think that was also key. The wide receivers were getting much better blocks. I think the last couple of weeks had just been maybe a little too quick to that assignment, like they were trying to cut up before the blockers got set. And now it felt like this week specifically they were able to really get set this week and able to capitalize. But still a couple of things that need to, I'd say, cleaned up and need to go their way for next week against Omaha Benson. That is a road game. You can hear that as always live on FM 98.1, AM 1410. Part of a busy, busy week. We have North Platte Community College volleyball on Wednesday, North Platte High softball on Thursday, football on Friday, and then I will be traveling to Wichita for the All-American Jamboree for Mid-Plains Community College men's basketball, which is, I can't.
Because once we hit October, the real season starts on Halloween.
Yes, it does. Yep. For both teams, if I remember correctly, against Laramie County.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
But we're here to talk about the Bulldogs as they fall 42-6 on our State Farm agent Bobby Hull's scoreboard. We'll step aside and we'll take a break. When we come back, we'll talk all things post-game and have a conversation on our La Casa del Rio's coaches interview with the one and only head coach Kurt Altig on FM 98.1, AM 1410, and video live streaming NorthPlattePost.com on our Cedar Room live stream.
Hometown banking with hometown people. Equitable Bank.
In today's agricultural environment, having a banker isn't enough. You need a trusted advisor with knowledge of your operation and experience in banking necessary to help you move your operation forward. Call me, Chad Johnston, at Equitable Bank. Together we can put my 25 years of ag banking experience to work for you.
Hometown banking with hometown people. Equitable Bank.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Hi, Misty here, your new kitchen and bath designer at CMH Interiors in North Platte. If you've been thinking of a refresh, now's the time. We display over 30 of the top best-selling Canberra countertops in the Midwest, and Showplace Cabinetry has just introduced stunning color options, adding even more depth to their already vast collection. So don't wait. Holiday guests will be here before you know it. Stop by CMH Interiors at 601 East Francis, North Platte. Let's bring your dream space to life.
For over 85 years, Farm Bureau Financial Services agents have built relationships with you, one conversation at a time. And we're as committed as ever to providing you with that level of service. As part of your community, we're here for you, answering insurance questions and helping make sure your financial goals are on track.
In North Platte, visit Jay Engel at fbfs.com/find-an-agent.
Farm Bureau Financial Services. It's your future. Let's protect it.
Hey, high school students, why wait to start college when you can begin transforming your future for free? Mid-Plains Community College is now offering free tuition for dual credit and early entry classes beginning this fall. Get ahead, save money, and transform your future while in high school. Talk to your high school guidance counselor or visit our website at mpcc.edu. That's mpcc.edu. Students are responsible for all course-related fees and must attend a Nebraska high school or Nebraska homeschool to qualify.
Every step should feel great, but if foot pain, bunions, heel spurs, or injuries are slowing you down, Great Plains Foot and Ankle Specialist is here to help. Their expert team of doctors provide top-notch care, from routine foot health to advanced treatments and surgery. Whether you're an athlete, always on the go, or just tired of aching feet, they'll get you back on your feet pain-free. Step into comfort. Call Great Plains Foot and Ankle Specialist today, or see them online at gpfootandankle.com.
PuroClean of North Platte delivers fast water, mold, and fire damage restoration services to the North Platte area. PuroClean knows how challenging those times can be to you and to your family. Their Nebraska-based experts have a winning, reliable combination of training and equipment partnerships. Local, fast service in the North Platte area. Their average on-site time is 60 minutes, and they'll coordinate with your local insurance provider. Give PuroClean a call now at 1-800-775-7876 and schedule a visit from a member of the team at PuroClean in North Platte.
Grease
Monkey in North Platte, they strive to make your experience enjoyable and your service quick. They perform a 16-point inspection with each full-service oil change, and they vacuum your interior and wash your exterior windows. Grease Monkey is your one-stop shop for all oil changes and more. They value your time. Their service technicians are trained to ensure they get the job done right the first time. Come check them out at 321 South Jeffers Street and see how well their family-run business services your vehicle.
The Bulldogs play here on FM 98.1 and 1410 AM KOOQ. Merrick's Ranch House. Lunch specials Tuesday through Saturday with 2 sides, just $10. See them on Facebook. Dine in, order online, use DoorDash, or just call for carryout. Merrick's.
It's the Quick Stop post-game wrap-up. Quick Stop never closes, with 24 locations open 24 hours a day.
Welcome back to Bauer Field, FM 98.1, AM 1410. Paxton Gordon here for our La Casa del Rios post-game interview with head coach Kurt Altig. Coach, good to see you again as always. Hoping, of course, as you were believing to come away with the victory today. 42-6 you fall to Columbus. And now we're 0-5 on the season. I thought there was a lot of good things positively to take away from this game, but just a couple of small little mistakes that crept up here and there that ultimately gave Columbus the more powerful lead in the end of things.
You know, I told him after the game, I was like, we really can look like a pretty powerful football team at times. You know, and we came out and did what we wanted to do, marched the ball down the field. We wanted to score, and, you know, and then we just had little mistakes here or there. You know, we didn't get a 4th down conversion, had a couple breakdowns in coverage, had some guys out of position. You know, and when you're out of position against a team that's got some really dynamic playmakers, you know, they're going to take advantage of it. You know, for the most part, again, I think we played pretty well for about a quarter of the game. But when you're playing a good team, you know, they're going to take advantage of those other 3 quarters, and you're going to be behind the 8 ball, and that's kind of what happened.
And me and Jeff Smeltzer talked about it. I think 131 of their total yards came off of 3 big plays, and if you just axed out those 3 big plays, that's 21 free points, and this game would have been 21-6 at the end of things. So, as you said, it's not the big gaping problems. It's just these small little things that, as again the season and the team sees more of these games and more of these plays, they'll start to hone it hopefully more in.
Yeah, you know, I gotta remind myself sometimes that, you know, quite a few of these guys were playing freshman football last year at the same time. But at the same time, you know, now they have 5 games under their belt. You know, they're kind of veterans, and we just got to be able to, you know, and I've said this word I don't know how many times this week, and I'm kind of tired of saying it, but we got to come out and execute. You know, this week we did some pretty dang good stuff on special teams, which too bad we didn't shore that up earlier, you know, in the last couple games. And, you know, offensively we can come out and look pretty powerful, look like those Bulldogs that we've had in the past. And then just a couple little mistakes here or there, and we're guys, you know, it's as simple of getting your helmet on the opposite side of the guy where, you know, a 2-yard play is going to become an 8 or a 12-yard play. And we're just, you know, we're slowly chugging away with these guys. And I told him after the game, I was like, the only thing I know what to do is just to work harder. You know, everything is not going to always just come to you easy. So you just got to, you know what, swallow it and just keep rolling.
And we talked about last week, one of your big emphasis was not letting your head hang down on those mistakes that come to bite you. You talked about last week a couple of plays that really stung for the team, really felt like the air got sucked out of them. Do you feel like that happened this week? Do you feel like there was a much better concerted effort when a mistake did happen, that they wiped it from their memory and went right back to the gridiron?
Yeah, I think, you know, we did a pretty good job of that. You know, again, we gave Columbus the ball in our side of the field quite a few times, which never helps when you're playing a dynamic team. But hey, you know, we came out, you know, in the third quarter and got a turnover, and, you know, eventually go down and score, and got an onside kick from a new kicker this week. So that, you know, and it was all sorts of stuff, you know, that was kind of going our way. But then we'd have silly things like a forward pass called a backwards pass. And I
was going to ask that question because from my point of view, it at least looked like it didn't go backwards. It looked like it was either in line or maybe a smidge forward past the plane of where he let it go.
Yeah, to me it was a forward pass, but again, you know, I've been doing this for 23 years now, and I've never seen a guy change his mind unless we got some instant replay, which we can't use right now. So it is what it is. You know, I think we still did win the turnover battle, I believe. I think we had 2 to their 1, or maybe it was 1-1.
It was 1-1, if I remember correctly, because they had the one fumble from Daniels, and then we, of course, had that late fumble. So at least tied it up, and honestly, as you said, that one's kind of a 50-50 flip of, you saw it one way, they saw it a different way. It wasn't a bad snap like last week where, unfortunately, Klaus, and then the interception as well. So, again, still limited turnovers, 1 penalty as well. So the mental mistakes on that side of the ball are still chugging in a positive direction.
Yeah, we are really doing some good things, and it's just, again, just trying to stay out of our own way. I thought we had a really good game plan coming in. Defensively, we had a good game plan coming in. We knew they were going to be fast. So we were setting guys outside, and they were supposed to maintain their outside leverage, and a couple times they didn't maintain their outside leverage for whatever reason, and they really took advantage of it.
Yep, and then next week, traveling back to Omaha, first trip to Omaha this season. We'll be facing off against Omaha Benson, and me and Smelter talked about it, and I'll have him speak to it at some point about it. We think that'll be the first true, coming out party for your squad. Benson currently 2-2. Can't undersell the 2-2 that they've been, but just like with the Rockets, historically you guys have had very, very big success against Omaha Benson.
The one good thing about Benson is that they haven't seen us very many times. We played Columbus 6 years in a row now, I believe.
I think it's the second year for Benson now.
Benson, this will be the second year. Last year, they were kind of down, but they have some guys and they're coaching them up, and they've won 2 games, so we're going in there.
There's 2 more than
We're going in there as the team with a 0 there in the win column. So we're not gonna take anything for granted. We're gonna go out there and hopefully shore up a few things and go to North Omaha and let them see how the Bulldogs can play.
That's what you love to see. Punch them now. Before I let you go, Coach Jeff Smeltz, you got anything you want to ask for Coach Altig here today?
Yeah, good to see Harper Whitney out there.
Yeah, that was it. It's nice to have him out there. He got hurt literally a year ago. It'd be next week, and he said he wanted to come out, and I told his dad, because I've known the Whitneys for a long time. I said, we're not just going to throw him out there and willy nilly, and I'll look after him like he's my own son. And we went out there, and I think he was pretty nervous, and I think they were really nervous when he was going and caught that pass, but he did a really good job, and we're hoping to be able to get him a little more confidence and get him back in football shape and maybe see what he can do a little bit more on the field.
Yeah, and then talk about still some of the, Harper Whitney, not really a young guy, saw a lot of action last season at the perimeter for you defensively. Guys like today that made some big impacts that were young, Tice Rathburn, the sophomore, in his real first game action at the varsity level, big couple of runs, Camden Weaver, and then again can't undersell how Carter still did today, especially in that touchdown, that very long touchdown drive, really put that drive on his back. These young guys, as you said, they're now almost high school Friday night veterans, really starting to pop more and more as they get comfortable, and more importantly, we think more confident, because we're seeing cuts and we're seeing decisions coming at a faster pace with confidence.
Yeah, we really see their confidence building. Just being the coach at the same time, we need them to be more consistent all the time, and that's really hard, for a young team, especially when you have lots of young guys out there all together. And we play big boy Class A football. There's not very many. I know they had a couple sophomores over on the other side,
But most teams, that are at the upper echelon, or the teams that you've played so far this season, that's a lot of juniors, seniors, 3 or 4 year starters that you see on the other side.
The good thing about having a young team is next year they're going to be a year older, and they're only going to be juniors.
Yeah.
And then, in a couple years we'll have seniors, and they'll be very similar to the team that we had last year. They'll have, maybe 30 varsity football games under their belt, and we'll lean on them. But right now, I told them we just got to keep working and just get more consistent with our execution, and it'll come. It's losing games sucks no matter when it is, no matter who you have on the field. But the bright side is each week we do something a little bit better.
Yep.
This week, special teams a little bit better. Offensively, we had some real good moments where we were looking like the team of old, where we're going to take 8 minutes off the clock, we're going to smash it in your face, we're going to go down and score, and then turn it over to our defense.
Yep, and as you said, you guys, I just feel knocking on that door of not only a big play, but also a big game coming up. Coach, as always, thank you so much for stopping on by and having a talk with us. We'll see you next week in Omaha as you take on the Bunnies.
Hey, thank you guys very much.
Well, that was, of course, our La Casa del Rios coach's interview. La Casa del Rios. Tradition is served with every bite. For years, families have gathered around our tables to enjoy the rich Mexican flavors that make us famous. From sizzling spices to our legendary mole gravy. That is right. You know what, Smelter? I'm kind of digging a mole gravy right now because I got to turn you on.
Oh, you had me shut
off. I'm so sorry, but I'm feeling hungry
mole.
right now.
Yeah, give me some mole.
Yep. We might go there one day. Slow simmered, savory, and of course, unforgettable. Every dish carries the taste of tradition. Go on down to La Casa del Rios at 1911 East 4th Street. Open Tuesday through Saturday, 9 to 8. Oh, they're closed.
They're not open till 10 o'clock.
We will see them hopefully
okay.
tomorrow. We can do it. La Casa del Rios, where tradition meets flavor. 42-6 victory for Columbus, and I think Coach brought up a lot of great points. You know, consistency is still the name of the game in terms of what the Dogs are trying to accomplish when it comes to their football games. And they feel like they're oh so close. I just feel they're on the cusp, knocking on the door of breaking that down and really showing out when they have the chance. Here, of course, is our stats that I want to bring up for us right now in terms of what today looked like. 413 total yards for Columbus, 313 on the ground, 100 on the air. And that 313, of course, coming off of the two big rushes from Braithwaite as well as Daniels. So he cut those essentially 100 yards off, and 200, it's more manageable.
Yeah.
You know? And then, of course, for the Dogs, 223. I'm pretty happy.
Nearly 200 yards rushing. That's a good, productive night. You know, and for the Bulldogs offense, 30 yards passing, that's almost like air raid.
Yeah.
That's,
we're hitting new levels of deep down the field. And they looked pretty good, too. It's not like they were 1 for 5 or something. I think they were.
No, and I say that in jest. It's just not part of their offense to throw the ball very often. And,
but when they do,
to have a nice 30-yard completion.
Yeah, and when they do, they really do make defenses pay. So here's what, of course, the upcoming schedule is going to be looking like for North Platte High. Of course, we can mark the Columbus game off now. They fall in this one 42-6, so they're 0-5 on the season now. But you got Benson next week, which me and you are, I think, I hate to say expecting because that's a lot of pressure, but if the Bunnies are as the Bunnies last year were and they take a marginal step forward, I still think it's a victory for us.
Yeah, it's kind of a mystery. They're a well-coached team. I don't know what they had coming in, if they had some transfers or some freshmen.
And then don't forget last year they forfeited the rest of their season after us.
Yeah.
You know, so I just don't know. And, of course, the teams they faced are teams like Buena Vista, Omaha Bryan. Those teams are at the bottom of the Class A table.
Yeah, if they had some talent, come up through the ranks as freshmen or transfer, I think they're well coached. So
yeah,
you don't know. If they're the same team as last year, even if they are well coached, I think it's a Bulldog victory and maybe by a couple touchdowns.
Which is, I think, going to be huge for the Dogs' confidence level.
Yeah,
because they're going to need that for the next 2-game stretch. Lincoln Southeast 2-3 on the year, lost to Millard South. Actually, a pretty close matchup. Wasn't actually as drawn out as like the Kearney game where Kearney got blitzed 72-0. But Lincoln Southeast, not the same team last year that were just a running powerhouse behind Butenbach. Lost a couple key guys and are trying to really find their identity. And then the dreaded Millard South game, that is on a Thursday, 4:30 at Millard South. I think for me, it's just don't put up a 0 against Millard South.
Yeah.
Because that game, you hate to be the negative Nelly, but barring a Omaha West Side collapse from Millard South, I just don't see that game being particularly close.
We don't have 12 Division I commits on our side of the ball. And
one day we will.
Currently, we don't. They're just loaded. They're loaded, and
they're well coached too. Even with them losing their coach, who's now coaching at Arizona for high school, you'd think they'd have maybe a drop off. Nope, not a single. They still are a well coached team. They still look really good.
Yeah, they got talent. They're well coached. So it's going to be a tough one.
And then of course the last game of the season, October 24th, at home against Lincoln High. So we get to finish the year at home. And we can't anymore say final game of Class A because it is confirmed that North Platte will be staying in Class A for the foreseeable future in football. Now, every other sport, I've been hearing some rumblings that we won't know about until the end of October when they do final head counts. But according to some of the things I've heard, they are really close. Like in a lot of the numbers, they are like a couple away from
maybe going down to be in other sports.
Yeah. So they're right on that edge. So we won't officially know for the rest of sports until the end of October, early November. But football is guaranteed to stay Class A. They moved the numbers down to 425. We're at 457, 460 actually. I think we gained 4 kids at the boys level. So we're at 460. We're not moving down. We'll continue to stay in that Class A 36-team field. Now, which bracket we're going to go into, it's going to be interesting.
I'm really curious to see how that all shakes out.
I bet it's from previous record. I have to think it's from previous points, previous
from
record.
the previous year.
To tell you where
it might
going.
always be fluid. Not like the relegation for Premier League.
And that's what I hope is that if we have an outstanding year next year, let's say we go undefeated in our district, or the 3rd district, I would like us to be promoted, but go to the different bracket.
I'm sure you would. I'm sure it's always going to be fluid. Well, I don't know if they're going to do it in 2-year cycles or annual cycles.
Great question. I actually didn't. Yeah, I assume it's still 2 years because when I looked at that, if I looked at the meeting, because I'm a nerd and notes guy, so when I looked at the meeting, they just announced the schedule, so I would assume it's still 2 years.
2 years.
Just to stay in line with every other sport. Yeah. Now, I wish it was not offset because the 2-year cycle for football ends a year before the rest of the cycle for every other sport ends.
Yeah.
Which is, I think, a little frustrating. But, if they keep it at 2 years, wipe my hands clean, that's fine. I don't really see us dropping below 425 at any point, especially when you have things like the Hershey rail yard opening up, and then the meat packing plant, which is just always
sustainable.
Always going to continue to grow. 40 new families have entered the North Platte area since the opening of that beef plant.
Yeah, so you don't know how drastically you'll increase, but I don't see us ever decreasing. With these things coming to the area.
Yeah, barring a disaster of ultimate.
And then the ancillary businesses that come with it.
And again, North Platte is a growing town. If you've ever looked at the town meetings that the Mayor Kelleher puts on, there's always talks. They're moving. I believe it's Leota. They're extending Leota. They're going to extend it all the way down to the beef plant.
Yep.
They're going to add, of course, that the first new trailer park in a long time. They're going to add more apartments. They're going to add more business. They're going to put a shopping center in that Leota by the Walmart area. Then, of course, you have the new apartments coming in behind the movie theater, which will have a strip mall. So more businesses are continuing to add in. The Panda Express opening soon. So the city is always growing. So you're going to expect to bounce back in terms of your population, which can only mean good things for the high school because you can get more kids into the system. And the way that Coach Aaron McCoy, the activities director, is now kind of, I hate to say merging, but really interconnecting the middle school and the high school, between one another and what they're doing. You really feel like a genuine pipeline is being built between the two schools so that you'll continuously have not only talent, but really good upcoming talent.
Yeah. Sound like a grumpy old man, but my wife and Dixie and I were driving around town last Friday, and I was complaining about how much traffic there was. I'm like, I think there's more traffic in North Platte than there ever used to be, just on a weekday.
I know, yeah. Some days it's just barren as all heck.
It was like noon, and I'm like, man, where's all this traffic coming from? But,
and that's good, and that's always good things. And again, that in turn means good things for the community, which then in turn means good things for the high school, because then, as we said, more kids, more talent, a more sustained path for people to play sports. And I'm excited to see not just the future, because, again, I've been hearing so many great things about the freshman, sophomore classes, even the junior classes that are, finally getting some well-established minutes, whether it be in softball, volleyball, even here in football and basketball, too. I've been hearing so many great things here. You're sitting there going like, oh, boy, the future sure does sound exciting, especially here to be North Platte. You just got to, as Aaron says, you got to set the foundation. And it feels like the foundation has been set in a lot of sports now. So now it's all about moving up. I don't think you've been to a volleyball game yet for high school. But you really can see there's a marketable difference from a year-to-year basis in this program in terms of where they are and where you can see them going. It just feels, the energy in the room feels different. Same thing with softball. They're above 500, 14-11 on the year, in the middle of the pack of Class A softball. And that is a bloodbath when you get to the upper markets, because it is Lincoln Omaha. Literally, Norfolk and us are the only top 15 teams that are not Lincoln Omaha.
Lincoln Omaha.
Yeah. So and we still have a couple of winnable games coming up in the next couple of days before districts begins. Not next week, but the week after.
In volleyball, when they lose 2 key cogs to start the season, 2 very important players.
Probably they're statistically from last season their best players.
Yeah.
Who are going to play huge roles, whether it be down the middle or on the outside. You would think, oh boy, it's going to be. You would think, okay, it's going to be a tough year to start. New coach, new system, and you're down your 2 technically statistically best players. They're at the same level that they were last year, and I think they've played more games than they've played all of last season.
Yeah, we're looking at it, and they go to tournaments in Omaha or Lincoln and
split
end up 2-2. Yeah,
and those aren't just like, again, Buena Vista, the lower echelon teams. Those are like Lincoln East, Lincoln Southeast. Those are some top tier volleyball teams. They took a game off of Pius. And, and when is the last time we've said with confidence they took a game off of Pius? And that's always a dominant squad.
And I don't know if she plays, but I think there's still a Markowski girl at Pius.
Yes, there is still a Markowski girl at Pius. If I
don't know if she's
correctly.
a volleyball player, but I imagine she's tall.
yeah. But to take again to see just the evolution that so far, just in the fall time, the cross country can't stop at cross country. Yep. They won, I believe, the cross country duel that they had yesterday in Hastings. Girls golf.
Girls golf is
Holy
really good.
Moly,
yeah.
They are, I think, don't want to jinx them, they're going to state as a team, not individual players, as a team. Allie Jones looks great. That whole team looks great.
They are really good.
And that, again, that's the fall time. Winter wrestling, I think that's going to take a big step this season from all the people they brought in coaching-wise and just the talent in general. This could be a really, really good year. Basketball is, again, an ancillary question just because the losses we think might be a little tough to start the season. Of course, gosh darn it, forgot her name. Now it's Sutherland. It's all Phoenix Brown. Key, probably was going to be a key cog this season for.
But you got to transfer Peyton Jones.
Yes, you did, and
who was very good at Hershey.
Yes, and she's going to, I think, immediately step in. And there's a couple of even younger girls. I don't know if the Whirl girl is up at high school yet. I heard some great things about her. But there's just a lot of talent, young talent waiting to happen. Same thing with the boys team. Young talent waiting to pop off. And then when we get to baseball, same thing. A lot of young talent that is just going to keep growing. Soccer was really good. Yeah. Soccer was really good last season.
Yeah, this will be their year. I think this is going to be the year for soccer.
And that's exciting. Yeah. That's exciting. So there's just so many things in the North Platte area that you can sit and be excited about. And at this moment, it just doesn't feel like the record signifies the amount of great things to come. Both volleyball, football below 500. Softball is above 500, but they're in the middle. So it's like you sit there and you think to yourself, it just doesn't seem like they're just kind of waddling around the middle. No, there's a lot. If you go to some of these games and you watch it, there's so many great things on the horizon. I'm just so excited to see not only how this season for football ends, but just how every season for every sport this year and next year are going to end because there's so many great talents about to, I think, make a name for themselves in the North Platte history books.
I feel bad I haven't made it to any JV or freshman football games this year. I usually try and catch a few.
Yeah, I've heard some great things.
Good.
I've heard some good things from some of the people that I've talked around the area. Of course, Aaron McCoy as well. So I've heard some good things, again, just like last year. Maybe not to the same nth degree of like the talent that was going to make their way up here, but so much of last year's team is sucked up to this team with how many seniors they lost for the football team. So I just think there's going to be endless. I think now a good endless pipeline going to make its way through not only the teams but the city as a whole, and that's just exciting. Again, they're getting more transfers and they're getting transfers out.
Okay, that's
positive.
That's good.
That's positive. So you're gaining more people day and night. So hopefully next week against Benson we can finally come back to home to talk about
victory.
Talk about a victory on the air. And I think it will. I honestly think next week's the week that they pick up their first victory of the season. So that'll do it here for us. As if you remember, North Platte did fall to Columbus today, 42-6 on our State Farm agent Bobby Hull's scoreboard. Mr. Smeltzer, as always, it's a pleasure to get to talk to you. I'm not going to see you next week. I'll see you the week after that. And we can always talk about all the sports in between for hopefully get a Bulldogs victory. And I know me and you will yip-yap in our private time about the community college. The next game we will be attending here on, of course, FM 98.1, AM 1410. If I remember correctly, is going to be North Platte Community College volleyball next Wednesday. It's a weird time, Wednesday. When is the last time you've heard a Wednesday volleyball game in a while? It's been a hot minute. That game is going to be next Wednesday, and I believe that is McCook. So we get into real division play. North Platte Community College and the Knights take on McCook and the Indians at home. Then we'll be seeing North Platte High School softball. I don't think it's the second to last game of the season before they go to their district. So far, if everything stays put, I have them mapped right now going to Miller North. So we go back to Miller North for a second straight year to face off against the best team, the Mustangs, in Class A. That's early, rough notes that I have written down. So whichever which way softball is going to be in Omaha or Lincoln. And then, of course, we'll have our Football Friday coverage. Me and Carl going to Omaha for the Benson Bunnies game, where we hope the Dogs pick up their first victory of 2025. And while I haven't yet confirmed this, and this is the first time we'll be talking about it, well, second time, I will be traveling next Saturday to Wichita for the All-American Jamboree for North Platte Community College and the Knights men's basketball, their first preseason games of 2025. And that team is, from what I've talked to some coaches, slated to be the best team in the Region 9 South. So
is McCook down there at that
no,
jamboree?
I believe I would think so. I haven't looked.
You might
I
have,
don't think
you
they
might
are.
have to go check out their roster.
Oh, speaking of that, I know if you all are paying attention to social media or have seen, of course we all know Mo Diao. St. Peter's is where he was going. That seems to have not be the case because he posted a photo today or recently in a McCook Community College jersey. Of course, Mo Diao still does have 1 year of JUCO eligibility.
Yeah, and I tried to look at St. Peter's roster, and they only have last year's roster up because I wanted to see if that's very bizarre.
I'm going to text Brandel. I wonder how he. No offense to Mo, even if he did want to come back here, I think it's all wrapped up.
I think that their roster is full, and they might not have had room where McCook did, and since we're sister schools, all the credits would transfer, and it would be an easy transition.
It's going to be funny because you have Mo Diao, then you have his successor playing the same position now. Completely two opposite players. Mo being an athletic, high-flying freak, and then
Big Joe
Joseph Badejo, who is an absolute juggernaut down low with his size. So that's actually going to be kind of fun. Yeah. I think that's going to be kind of fun, even though I'm a little sad to see him go to McCook.
I'm really curious about that photo. So
I'll talk to Coach Brandel. I'll get you that information. But we are going to see everybody next Friday, if you are interested in football, on FM 98.1, AM 1410, live streaming NorthPlattePost.com on our Cedar Room live stream. Me and Carl going on to Omaha Benson. Then we'll welcome Jeff Smeltzer the week after that back when the Dogs take on Lincoln Southeast. See you guys next Wednesday for more sports on FM 98.1, AM 1410, and video live streaming on our Cedar Room live stream.
My name is David Merrill. I'm the head chef over here at the Cedar Room. What I hope to bring to the community is an opportunity to explore new horizons that people maybe haven't before because it was too expensive, too intimidating, too abroad. And I just kind of want to bring an opportunity for people to try new things in, exciting ways that, are still small town affordable. Stop on by at the Cedar Room located here in the historic Canteen District.